Evelyn?
Here.
And Tallarico.
Here.
The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for the meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster posted in Town Hall, filed in the office of the municipal clerk on December 18, 2025. Before we get into C4 and appointments, Purple Flags Initiative, that's simple, right?
Yes, that's the one, oh, I'm glad you said that first. That's the one that we do every year for the Monmouth County. The kids that overdosed.
Yeah.
And
That's you got a date set?
they haven't set up, but I'll let everybody know. They
They'll
come in.
plant the purple flags.
And we'll plant the flags.
Perfect.
And we'll put up the
Perfect.
signs.
Yep.
So everybody's okay with
Just
doing
yeah,
that?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
send us out an email
Yeah,
and let us know
it'll
when it is.
probably be sometime in August,
Okay.
because Overdose Awareness Day is on August 31st.
Yep.
So
Pretty good.
we'll be in, thank you.
Okie dokie. All right, let's start with the C4 zone. So I'm going to call up Ms. Krimko.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Glad to hear that there were no houses that were rendered uninhabitable, considering. I understand that at a prior meeting, Colleen had given you a list of uses that were in discussion for the C4. It was given to you without any context, and that's why I understand that perhaps didn't know what was being requested or why, and some of the feedback was more general. What we wanted to do, we had met with the township's professionals to talk about the reasons behind why some zone changes were being requested and were necessary. And paid escrow and worked with Jim to kind of clean up the ordinance for a couple reasons. Just technically speaking, your C4 ordinance allows for a regional shopping center and then a non-regional shopping center, and then there's support facilities around that. So those three all kind of apply to C4, and there's inconsistencies throughout all of it. It probably hasn't been revised in a very long time. So the first thing that we were asking for is that we get it cleaned up so it reads in a way that makes sense and everybody knows exactly what is permitted there, and that's one of the things that Jim had done. The second thing was we had discussed a bunch of uses that Isaac Mastery, who's the owner of the shopping center, was looking to have potentially added, since really we are the tenant in almost the entirety of that area as it relates to the larger uses in the shopping center. And a lot was bounced off of your professionals, and we got a lot of pushback on it with regard to what would fly and what wouldn't, and we kind of came up with a list that everybody considered to be reasonable, subject of course to the council's opinion on it, because ultimately you have to make that decision. So again, we had hoped that when it was presented to you, we would have the opportunity to explain why, and it kind of went out of order, so here we are today. I want to introduce Isaac, because at the end of the day, he's really the only one that can explain the uses, because it has as much to do with planning as it does with the economic vitality of that center, which I think we all agree, for those of us who were born and raised here, is significantly different than it was when it was an enclosed mall in 1975.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Hi,
Mr. Mazzarri, all right.
See you. Hi, hi everyone. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. So, Isaac Mastery, grew up in Ocean Township, lived here my entire life, 51 years. Our company is based out of Eatontown, Warren Realty Group, and we own properties from New York down to Florida, similar to Seaview. In 2012, the property was in foreclosure. The previous owners ran out of money, and the bank decided to sell the note of the property. We looked at it, even when the previous owners bought it, and we said, look, Seaview was always known as a little bit of a dirty word in the real estate market. Again, I think most of you live in Ocean Township, so you know what Seaview was over time. But we said, at the right price, we think maybe we can make some improvements and save what we've looked at as almost a blighted site. So in 2012, we took a little bit of a risk, and we bought it. There was about 400,000 square feet vacant the Value City building, if you remember, that 2-story building was vacant. You had, if you remember, the Lowe's home improvement store that was sinking, and they vacated. It was built on a landfill. It had a lot of overgrown grass, and you call up a tenant who might be based out of Texas and say, oh, we have a shopping center for you in, Ocean Township called Seaview, and they said, well, you can't see it from the road and has vacancy, and I Googled it and I saw that it's sinking. Wasn't such an easy property to lease. So we spent a lot of time, we spent a lot of money, and we came to the township and said, look, there are certain things we think can help us try to improve the property. And they said, what do you think can help you? We said, we think we need signage. You didn't have any signage in the front of the property, the pylon sign that's on the road. Can you help us get approvals for that? And they said, show us some renderings. And we sat with the professionals and came up with the renderings that are there today. That helped us. We designed some other things, and the township worked with us. We told them we want to raise the Value City building because we want to build for HomeSense and Sierra and Marshalls and Home Goods. And can we do that? And we had to go to DEP, and none of this was easy. This took years. This is now, again, 2012, or in 2026. And we made some good improvements. I think we're all pretty happy with how it came out. We spent a lot more money than we expected to, but went from being a blighted site of Ocean Township to really the crown jewel in terms of shopping destination for Ocean Township. The Costco, I think we all love, and the Marshalls and the Sephora and all the improvements we made. And we thought we were done. We thought the leasing was all done, and we were in great shape. And then all of a sudden you get hit with a bankruptcy, and those have happened over the years, and Harmon went bankrupt, and we filled them up with Hallmark, and we had a lot of bankruptcies. And now you have At Home. It's a big bankruptcy. It's a 100,000 square foot box. That's where Sears used to be. And we're talking to tenants. We signed one tenant, just so you know. We signed Wayfair, which we think is a great, exciting
Which I'm
new
very
use.
excited about.
So we think that
You are.
You'll get
We
your
think-
deliveries quick.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
that's
I
a
gotta
store you
buy.
go to pick up from. You shop in the store.
Can you hold this off for a few years, please?
So we think that's great, but they just took a small piece of the box.
Good.
And we're talking to other tenants, and again, I'm talking to the tenant in Texas or in Wyoming or wherever the tenants are based, and they're saying, no, we hear some great things about Eatontown and we want to be in Eatontown. We hear Monmouth Mall's being redeveloped, Netflix is over there, and we want to be closer to Eatontown. So now, where we have this really great momentum, for years, we did a lot of good things. And the township has been incredible with us. But we didn't overreach anything. We didn't ask for, land a spaceship here. We didn't ask for anything silly. We asked for things that are typical of the shopping center, and it's worked well for everybody. Lots of jobs, lots of taxes. But I'm getting a lot of pushback now because of Eatontown. So again, talking to a lot of tenants. We had a tenant, we thought we had Tesla. They wanted to come and again, Sears used to have an auto center. So we said maybe Tesla was looking for a place to do some repair work, light collision repair work. We said, all right, maybe that's a good use. So we came to the town 4 or 5 months ago and said, what do you think about this? Oh, it could be good, it could be great. And then Jen gave you the recap. And I thought we'd be able to move it along to get an approval or something as a permitted use in the ordinance. But we're 4 or 5 months later, I lost that deal. I had another deal that was pending. I just lost that deal. They're going to Eatontown. So I don't have any of the uses
let me jump in.
now. Yeah, I don't have a tenant now that I'm telling you I need this use because I have this tenant. But I want to know that if we are lucky enough to bring in another tenant, maybe we didn't want Tesla at the end of the day, maybe you didn't think it was a good use, but if there's another good use that comes along, that it's here and it's approved, and I know I don't have to wait 4 or 5 months to get it approved because they're laying out the red carpet. You see what they did for Monmouth Mall, you see what they're doing for Netflix, you see what they're doing even for the Orchard, the golf course. There's a lot happening, and we're up against a lot, and I just need assistance, and that's it.
And so a couple things from a more technical standpoint. The reality is that this is ideal for a town, particularly one where the public is complaining about overdevelopment and stop the development, you have a fully developed site. We're not looking to add impervious coverage. We're not looking to create or spread more development where there isn't. You have a center that we want to continue to invest in and grow. And what you left out, and I think you did to be humble, is when it was in bankruptcy, you were getting no taxes. Now I think you're the biggest taxpayer in all of Ocean Township.
By a lot, yes.
Okay, approximately how much do you pay in taxes a year for that center?
I think $1.8 million,
Okay.
about.
So again,
Probably pulling the most rent too.
See, I didn't want to say that.
No.
I was thinking
You
it.
guys are misunderstanding. It's not about profit, it's not about money. The reason why all of the prior administrations.
just kidding.
I know, but
Lighten up.
we're in public forum,
I
so.
get it.
One of the reasons that the township over the last decade has been always willing to work with us through changes in administration and attorneys and council members is because they recognize that if we do well, the township does well. Because if you have a center that can't rent, then you're gonna be paid less taxes, but the same coverage, the same everything is all still there. So vitality in this location is going to be key for everyone, and you're able to do it as a redevelopment without having any impact on the infrastructure of the town in any way, like people were complaining. As far as medical offices are concerned, the reason we wanted medical, they're already permitted. They're in the ordinance, they're permitted at the mall right now. The problem is that there is some overlay as they're permitted here, they're not in the RSSF, they're permitted, we just wanted to clean it up with regard to how it was permitted. The car wash, we had a prospective tenant for a out parcel that's adjacent to the mall. That deal died because we weren't able to get the zone changed in time. And again, clean use, no pun intended, but it's a clean use for the site. And it would have fit within the context of where car washes are permitted conditionally, so we were looking to have that added because, again, you're right in the row where the car dealerships are, the circle is, there's another car wash right across the circle. It seemed like an appropriate location. The bank is already permitted, but I don't think we can all agree that there is no bank without a drive-through, so we were looking to just make sure that would be permitted. The auto service center without sales was the Tesla. We were looking to have that. There is auto service already at BJ's. I'm not sure under the
Costco.
Costco. I'm sorry. I represent BJ's also, and that's been a big one on the mind. But there already is car service there. I don't know how it got zoned.
Sears had
Right,
auto.
and Sears had the auto. So to us, it seemed like a very natural segue to put in there, provided it's not, a repair shop, it's part of the integrated building, all the work is done inside. We understand all the things that would
Can I
go.
stop you on that one?
Sure.
So it's not to your point, how are they both there if it's not?
Well, Sears is not there, and
It was there.
it was there, I don't know, and Costco, theirs is tires, and it's accessory,
It's just tires at Costco.
Right.
And batteries.
And it's
Which
accessory.
is basically what Sears did,
Right.
tire and battery center.
It's accessory to the, we're not looking to go back though, Councilman. We're looking to move forward. The ordinance has changed over the years. I don't know how it got in. I mean, Sears was there since the 70s.
Right, that's where
Right.
I go. Okay.
And as far as Costco is concerned, that is an accessory to it, so perhaps since it is a typical accessory use to a Costco, it wasn't considered as its own separate use. But what we're suggesting is, since those uses were there, again, and it would be limited, so that was why we raised that. The auto sales and service, we weren't looking to do a car lot necessarily, but you have them along the highway there. But more importantly, if Tesla came and we thought we'd get them, they didn't want to be limited that they couldn't sell cars from there. So that was really the mindset. We're not looking to, we don't have the land to put a car dealership there. The data center we've given up on.
Why?
But we didn't even want to do it in the first place.
Our planner or someone
Yeah.
threw it in there, and then
I
there's a
didn't-
lot of,
There's a lot of negative feedback on data
Yeah,
centers,
data
taking away the
centers.
power of the township, so we said.
we didn't have a tenant, it wasn't, we were looking at,
I lose my power enough at my house.
no, we were looking at ideally where are the trends we looked at where the trend's going. You have all these vacant spaces everywhere. Who's taking the spaces? That's one of them.
Sure.
That's why we put it in there. Same as sustainability. Again, we didn't have anyone.
Is that in or out?
It was in our list. We would love to have like a battery storage alternative energy in one of these big areas. But again, we don't have anyone to do that. We're just coming up, we're trying to look forward
Yep.
to make sure that 20 years from now, this is still a vital center. The warehouse is already permitted in portions of that. It's the warehouse where Jason's furniture was. I forget what it is now. But that was already rezoned for warehouse in that area.
We don't own that portion, but
I was
it's part of
gonna
that.
say,
same
Yeah, no,
company.
we don't own it, but I'm
We
saying,
Goodwill.
it's essentially part of the same parcel. Well, it's a separate lot and block. It uses our access. And then, when I tell you, I couldn't figure out what was permitted or not permitted when it came to health or sports clubs, indoor recreation, children's entertainment. Every section of that C4 ordinance said a different thing. So all we're looking to do is to have it uniformly permitted because again, you have the pickleball in there already. You have the trampoline in there already. These are the types of uses that you,
In the gym.
and the gym, yes. These are the types of uses that you would want. So, and again, I don't think it was circulated to you because it wasn't a formal document. It was something we paid escrow and had Jim work on behalf of the township. It wasn't something the township asked him to do. It was something we asked him to do on behalf of the township. And he came up with a really good way to clean up your ordinance, to get rid of RSSF, to get rid of the distinction between shopping center zoning and all the other zoning, and to do a comprehensive ordinance that covers the entirety of the area that works for the small lots and also works for the bigger lots. So I'm hopeful, and today was just informational. I'm hopeful that, you know, I can ask Colleen or Dave to kind of share this ordinance with you, take a look at it, and then if you have questions, we're happy to come back. But, you know, yes.
Could you go back just to the sustainability, alternative sustainable energy
Try
storage?
not to ask me a lot of questions on that because I don't have a lot of
So,
answers.
yeah, the only reason we even brought that up is a tenant that does,
The reason why I'm asking is because it says the electrical power on site and then discharges the stored energy to the public grid or nearby facilities through one or more underground electrical conduits, or to the direct use to support electricity demand on site. What does that even mean, and how would that affect our environment and, you know, our
So,
surrounding
I'm
tenants and
not
stuff?
an expert. The only reason I put that in is 3 days, I think, before we brought this up, a battery storage tenant contacted me and said, we would love to lease 1 acre of land from you to do battery storage. And I don't know much more about it. So we could look into it much more.
I mean, I would just like
that was
to
the only
know
reason it was thrown in
with
there.
the DEP
I really
and
don't
so
know.
forth.
But I think it's a clean energy source, not anything else.
But again,
we'll look
that
into
is
it.
not, we'll look into that, but that is one that we threw in because that came in.
Yeah.
We had to look up what it even meant, and I had to pull ordinances from other municipalities that have it,
Yeah.
and I think that that's an
I mean,
amalgamation of
electrical
that.
current that goes underground.
Oh, do you have this already?
Yeah.
Oh, I
we
didn't know
all
you guys
got
had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
great.
printed it out. I do have another question. I hope you don't mind.
Hmm?
When the Tesla, organization, whatever, approached you, why didn't we know about it?
Oh, I came to the town.
The town,
I
no?
came to
When
town,
was
no,
this?
4 or 5
4 or
months
5
ago.
months ago.
I
Yeah.
never heard of the Tesla
Yeah, I met with the
situation.
township, I met with, all the professionals, and I said, look, we have these guys. And
And we
that's what initiated this
we-
entire process,
I can
actually.
tell you when. We had
Because it
a,
would have been good
I know, I
both
wish I-
ways
I
for
didn't-
us to have collaborated,
Yeah.
to understand that this was in the works for you. Because, I mean, obviously you're a businessman, so you want to be able to
My
fill
first
your
call is
tenants.
always to the town.
just so you know, we met on March 4th, 2026.
With
and
who?
Dave. I don't know why. Dave and Isaac, right? Colleen wasn't there, so we met with Dave Brown. We met with me, Dave, Isaac. Anthony, I know that you said this. I think that Greg was there also. for that meeting. I'm pretty sure Greg was there, because
I think there was another one before that meeting.
because you and I got into an argument over
I think it
whether or
was-
not,
I was the second one.
okay,
What-
okay, maybe the second one, I don't know why the notes aren't in here. We got into an argument over whether or not sick people should be allowed to walk through a mall. So,
That was the
so there
second
was a
one.
second meeting where that was explored.
Outside entrance.
We can.
All right, so
So wait, sorry.
one more point?
Yeah, one last point. The last point is what Jennifer was talking about, is that looking forward, because I might not even, like, what if Netflix calls up and says we need a temporary staging facility? So I'm just throwing out things that might work. It's not that I have these tenants that are saying, oh, you know, if you get this approved, we can come in, and these are all tricky things that I can't get anywhere else. These are, you know, uses that are in centers, and if you have ideas of other uses, then we should throw them in here too, because we know what happens when we come and wanna come in for a, you know, planning board meeting or whatever. It takes 5-6 months.
All right,
and you
so
lose a
let me ask this. We want to finalize this as much as you do. So my suggestion is, everybody has a copy of this, everybody's reviewed it. My suggestion is that you give over notes of anything that you potentially want to see changed within that ordinance, or additions that you think would be good. Get them over to David so that David can review along with Colleen. And then at that point, David, I believe we can have a discussion at the next council meeting in work session. I want this sealed up by the next council meeting for a resolution or whatever we have to do. An ordinance change, so we can do first reading, second reading. We can always amend the first reading, obviously. I mean, if we want to go as far as doing the first reading for the August meeting, or wait till September, but everybody has to get their comments back, and if they don't comment back within 2 weeks, then let's just move forward with what the recommendations are on the town side with our professionals.
So, could you
And just
get
so
back to us
council-
about that one point?
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
So council is aware, that was a draft that I prepared based on what the applicant submitted
Right.
that they wanted to do, and I didn't have any feedback from the town at that point in time. So it was for you to react to.
Right,
Yep.
so what the intention was, we were going to present what we wanted. You were going to meet with Jim, meet with us, digest it, and during the process, there were a lot of internal meetings held, and so finally we said, you know what, let us just come and talk to the council. So that's
Good
why we're
move.
here.
I'm glad that we got to listen. So now the suggestion is you take a little bit of time, review it, but no more than 2 weeks, because we have our next meeting
It's a month
August,
away.
what day?
And
August a month.
And
August
Grace Ann,
30th.
I'm gonna try to figure out exactly how that works
Yeah.
technically.
I mean, I don't have a problem with probably 98% of this.
Okay.
I have a problem with that. And also the AI data center.
Well, the AI
If
data
that's
center's
being
out.
taken out, then I really don't have a problem with it,
Yeah.
just that one.
Okay, and if you guys, if you weren't ready for that one, because we don't have any details or a user to give you that, we're not gonna cry over that one. Because
No.
we don't even know what it is yet.
I do have one other question about the child entertainment. Do you know what that would be?
Yes,
It's like a Sky Zone.
that's
Or
it.
like
Cheese.
It's already permitted. It's already permitted, you guys. So that was the issue. In one section, child's entertainment is allowed. In another section, health and fitness is allowed. But they're not allowed throughout. So all we're doing is putting all the uses that are already permitted within, how many acres is it?
120.
Within that 120 acres, and making it uniform, so there's no question as to what you can or can't do.
And that would be the full, and pardon me for not knowing the exact answer to this. You're not the only C4 zone, right?
There's a couple of pieces in the front of us that
On the
are
highway.
part of it on the highway, a couple
Yeah.
of
But
smaller.
other than that, that's the only one
That's
in
it.
town? Right, okay, I have
Yeah.
that, but I didn't. I figured you guys would know the answer. Okay, so we're basically doing it, and no disrespect, we're doing it for you, for Seaview, which is fine.
Seaview and the surrounding, so again, yes.
But it's
On the surrounding C4, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Follow-up question, is this the latest version? What's the
There was
date,
only one version that I've done.
which is dated May 28th?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
I
there's
was-
this.
There's only one, if that's the date on it, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Mine doesn't even have a date.
But this is one that has your edits, because I saw your name on it.
No. These weren't my edits. This was the edits that Jim did.
Not mine.
Jim did the color coding. That was my comments to
Your
it.
comments, okay.
Right, but,
All right, we'll get the right one.
yeah.
Yeah, see, I saw your name, and that's why I thought it was
Yeah,
you.
those were my comments to it. But, but again, all Jim did was memorialize in a fashion that was consistent with your ordinance what we were asking for.
Okay.
Now it's up to you, after hearing everything that, you know, Isaac and I had to say, what you're comfortable with. And again, you know, Grace Ann, to your point, we're not here asking for sustainable energy. If you wanna say, look, we're not ready for that now, but if you have a tenant and you come to us with someone who has some expertise on it, we'd consider it, that's okay.
Okay.
I get that.
Thanks,
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
And everybody, this is Anthony Storo.
How
Those
are
of you
you?
who may remember how I used to follow Peter Falvo around.
Now you have your own protege.
It's Peter Falvo.
Third gen.
And unlike Peter, I don't intend to work till I'm 80. So he'll be taking.
Enjoy that retirement, right?
Peter had nicer suits.
I know, but
It was a little quiet. He could dress up, boy.
Just send me an email.
Okay.
I can get you both.
Okay.
Take care, all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we've scheduled the rest of the time for the planning board appointment deliberations, so let's get rolling. We're not doing public comment on that, yeah, just, yeah, he's out,
Really?
It was easy.
Come on.
that's it.
I'll do my, I wasn't gonna be here tonight, I just came for that.
Okay.
But, and I didn't wanna cause an argument, but when they said they came in March 4th for that, they came with that whole list, and we targeted the AI stuff. Because we're like, what is this? And we spent 90% of the time talking on it. That's why I never went anywhere. They didn't take it off the table till just now.
Okay.
So that's why we were very cautious on all this stuff, because there were things out there we didn't know, they didn't know what it meant. So that's why it took so long.
Okay.
So-
I mean, I thought there had to be a reason.
Yeah, because if they'd have just come in with tests, we'd have said, yeah, no problem, go with the council, it'd have been done. But they didn't come in with tests at all. They said, like a test. And then he got that later on. He must have knew it was in the works or something. But he had nothing solid on anything. That's why we said, well, we got a whole list, and we don't like a lot of things on your list. And they clarified a lot of things, because I mean, we had car wash, we had car service, because you didn't want, you know, cars stacked out in the parking lot that are all broken up like the Exxon, like the gas station on the corner of Roosevelt and Monmouth. You don't want cars out there looking like that in the mall.
Right.
It just isn't the right spot.
I don't want it on Monmouth and Roosevelt either.
No,
but-
I know.
It's for sale. It's for sale,
For
by
sale.
the way.
Already there. I want to prevent another one, but that's why it took so long.
Was there anything else on this list that you guys didn't feel comfortable with?
They refined it. a little.
They refined it?
Yeah, they're.
You're
like the
okay with
battery-
it too?
They took off the ones I asked them to take off.
Yeah, the battery
Okay.
thing, we were a little cautious on, because they didn't know what it was, so why do you want us to approve a battery operating, and you don't even tell us what kind of batteries you want? We thought it might have been, they want, solar panels and a rechargeable thing to sell energy back.
Yeah.
And when we asked them that, they said, we don't think that's what it is. So I mean, I still don't know what they mean by battery storage. Is it a guy who's gonna sell batteries? They don't know. So that's why we're very cautious. They wanted a whole list, and we didn't know what any of them were.
So if they take those two off, you guys are comfortable?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
rest of them are all permitted, like they said, around there.
Man, if you guys have any additions, you know, send them over to Dave.
Yeah.
We can add whatever we want.
We were just mostly looking at deletions more than additions,
Right.
but, yeah.
And that would be explicit use, not conditional. So they'd
Right,
have,
correct. They wouldn't have to go to the planning board.
right.
It'd be automatic permit.
If somebody wanted to film a movie there, is a film studio permitted in that zone?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
you'd have to, but that's something, he's another thing, like he says, if Netflix came in, as fast as he has to move, we can't move that fast.
Yeah.
Because he can't explain it enough to know what we know what the impacts are. You know, how long are they gonna be there? How much space are they gonna, how much parking do they need? He doesn't know. He just wants to put Netflix in there. You know, that's the problem.
I guess my
If you
question
take
is
up a third of the mall parking, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Like if you have a warehouse that's permitted, but then a sound studio is not permitted, I could see where that could be interesting.
Mhm. But I think if he comes in and has all his facts presented to us right off the bat, it'd be very easy. Hey, this is what it is, this is the hours I need, and this is what they're gonna, this is the impact of the zone and the parking.
Yeah.
It'd be easy. But and I understand his problem too, because he doesn't know. But he just wants us to give him blanket approvals, that he doesn't have, if they're conditional
Sure.
uses, I wouldn't have a problem, because then they have to go to the board,
Yeah.
and the board could deny it.
So do you think that's gonna happen with the conditional uses, with Netflix coming to our town and asking for like,
Yeah, if you gave him a conditional use, because that way he has to go to the planning board. You know,
oh, so it would have to go there first?
Yeah, to make sure all the site plan stuff issues work. If you
Understood.
make it a permitted use, as long as he conforms to the requirements of that zone, he's fine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's why it was very dicey when he was kind of asking for a lot of blanket
Just
stuff.
wanted a blank check.
Yes, pretty much. And then, of course, what would happen is how he twists that. You know, well, this is what we really meant, and then we get that in there, and everyone's gonna say, we'll approve that.
Yeah.
And we don't want that either. So we kind of wanted to give us examples of what he was, and you can see they're struggling with that.
Not to compare, but I'm gonna,
Okay?
using his word, just, is Eatontown doing something I mean, I get it. They got more land, they got more business, I get it. Don't misunderstand me. But are they doing anything, obviously the law is the law, land use law is land use law. I mean, are they doing anything different that we should be doing to not necessarily attract, but to make it easier?
I don't believe so. I think the difference between him and Eatontown is a bigger draw.
Sure.
Because they have a village they're building.
Right.
So you have a lot of places like eating establishments and things like that,
Right.
gyms and whatnot, are permitted there because that's who's gonna use it.
Right.
If people have to drive here, it's not the same kind of condition.
Yeah, they have a
So we
built-in.
can't give them what they
Right.
have there because you don't have the same situation and the demand. You know, that's gonna be a walking village where people, you know, the movie theater, all that stuff's staying because the people there will support it.
One last one, but it's not just Monmouth Mall, it's 36. It's,
Everybody,
right,
yeah,
I
everybody's
mean,
fighting for these tenants.
no, but my point is, it seems that when you talk to people, it's easier to do business in Eatontown from a zoning, planning, ordinance perspective, not necessarily. Okay, that's fine.
No,
Just-
I think that they'll tell you that because it's easier to sell the space in Eatontown because of visibility. They have a
Got
corner
it.
with visibility second. They're not
Okay.
here to sell a Tesla thing for somebody that wants roadside frontage. He doesn't have it.
Got it.
So a lot of people don't, that's where I think his biggest
Perfect.
problem is.
Okay, just want to make sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
See you, Greg.
See you later.
Thanks,
Thank
Greg.
you,
Yeah.
Greg.
Miss you.
I'll be here next meeting.
That was nice.
Well, you know, I don't get to answer the question.
All right, planning board, deliberation. So, you guys interviewed, we didn't see any recos, so where are we going? You said you wanted to talk about it tonight, so let's go for it.
Terrific. That's great. So we did interview, we had 20 resumes, and we interviewed 15 people. Some are here tonight. And we used a rubric. We have them all here, actually. The rubric included a 1 to 5 points regarding community involvement, knowledge of municipal government, land use and planning knowledge, professional experience, analytical and decision-making ability, communicational skills, ethics and integrity, commitment and availability, diversity of perspective, and ability to work collaboratively. After we interviewed everyone, we would sum up all the points, and they came into 3 different categories. So there was the outstanding applicant, the excellent applicant, and the good applicant. And that's how I came up with my list.
Outstanding, good, and what?
Excellent is in the middle.
Excellent, outstanding, excellent, good.
Correct. Based on the rubric.
Okay.
And these were based on 15 to 20-minute interviews of each applicant. Do you want to say something? Or?
Well, I got a little thing I want to
Oh,
read.
I do
so
too. So whatever
I'll tell you
want
what,
to.
let me go first.
Go ahead.
So I'm putting this on the record, so bear with me.
Can I have a copy of that?
Sure.
Thank you.
You don't want to type it all?
I'm just gonna write it.
Happy to send it to you.
Thank you.
All right, I want to provide everybody a little history of how we got where we're at for the appointments, for those of you that don't know. Back in November of '25, Ocean Township residents voted through a township-wide referendum to dissolve the existing Planning Board and Zoning Board of Adjustment and replace them with a unified land use board. That referendum was more than a modest structural change in our government. It reflected our residents' clear desire for a board that would guide reasonable development, zoning, and planning in Ocean Township for decades to come. The rationale was straightforward. The most of Ocean Township was already developed, so the planning board was hearing very few applications, while the zoning board typically reviews applications for improvements to existing residential and commercial properties, faced a growing backlog that could have taken 6 months to resolve. The combined land use board with 9 regular members and 4 alternates would be able to meet twice each month, reduce the risk of canceling meetings due to lack of participation, and hear more applications monthly, thereby helping to move the process forward more efficiently. For these reasons, the council voted unanimously to bring this to the residents for a referendum. Creating this new board also meant that all sitting members of both prior boards would no longer hold their positions, but could reapply for the new board along with other interested residents. Because this new board will have enormous influence over redevelopment, neighborhoods, traffic, environmental protection, open space, housing, and commercial growth, I have consistently maintained that the process used to appoint this inaugural members is just as important, if not more important, than the board members themselves. The new land use board should have been selected and approved, and members' terms started July 1st. So why are we here now voting? We've been asking about the process that would have been followed for the selection of the new board members for nearly 6 months. Yet respectfully, Mayor, you continue to ignore our numerous requests to put a formal, transparent selection process in place. And we soon found out why. Allowing one individual, the mayor, to independently choose every member of our newly formed board would undermine every principle of good government. Yet, respectfully, the mayor tried to do exactly that by introducing an ordinance that would have given him the ability to appoint every member of the new land use board. Respectfully, secretly with the township attorney to draft an ordinance, the ordinance was then put on the agenda for introduction at a regularly scheduled council meeting. Once we identified it to be completely against state statutes and a total power grab on the part of the mayor, we immediately asked the town manager to pull it from the agenda. He fully agreed, as did most of the council members, and it was removed. Residents need to understand that the Land Use Board will shape Ocean for generations. Unlike many municipal committees, a Land Use Board exercises quasi-judicial authority. It affects residential density, commercial development, variances, redevelopment projects, neighborhood character and charm, environmental preservation, property values, and the long-term implementation of township master plan. These decisions often cannot simply be reversed by future governing bodies. Because the board's influence extends far beyond the current administration, its membership should not reflect the preferences of only one elected official. The referendum language was approved by the full council and passed by the voters of Ocean Township, not just the mayor. That distinction matters. Residents voted to establish a new government institution intended to serve Ocean Township for decades. The inaugural appointment should therefore reflect the entire community rather than the philosophy or priorities of whichever mayor happens to be in office during that transition. The board belongs to Ocean Township, not to the administration. And while we continue to insist on a documented, fair, and open process, respectfully, the mayor continued to ignore our requests. Even if every appointment were made in good faith, allowing a single official to appoint every member creates an unavoidable appearance problem. Land use decisions routinely involve developers, property owners, attorneys, engineers, neighborhood organizations, and residents. Public confidence depends not only on actual impartiality, but also on perceived independence. As I've always said, it's all about the optics. When one official selects every voting member, residents may reasonably question whether the board represents independent judgment or the current administration's policy preferences. I've always tried to prevent the perception whenever possible, which is why I am so deeply concerned by the lack of a formal, transparent process for selecting the members of the new board. Understand, Ocean Township has long relied on a shared appointment authority. Nearly all public appointments require confirmation or participation by the full council because it encourages broader discussion, not backroom deals, prevents ideological stacking or groupthink, improves transparency, which is critical for all council matters, builds confidence, and produces boards with more diverse experience. Ocean Township operates under the council manager form of government, where the council sets policy and the township manager oversees day-to-day operations. In that structure, the mayor serves primarily as a presiding officer at council meetings and as the ceremonial head of the government body, with limited executive authority and with few exceptions, no greater power than any other council member. The township manager has had to remind the mayor of this distinction numerous times over the past year, as the mayor has repeatedly attempted to act as though he runs the town solo. This incident is yet another example of a lack of teamwork and collaboration on critical decisions and that should involve the full governing body. Applying that same philosophy to the inaugural Land Use Board would strengthen, not weaken, the board's legitimacy. Also keep in mind, land use decisions affect every neighborhood, and every section of Ocean Township experiences different planning challenges. Whether it's Oakhurst, Wayside, Wanamassa, West Allenhurst, Colonial Terrace, or other neighborhoods, all bring different perspectives regarding traffic, redevelopment, flooding, open space, housing, and infrastructure. A collaborative appointment process increases the likelihood that those varied viewpoints are represented. That is again why we demanded that the council effectively advertise for new members, seeking resumes to submit and interviews to be conducted using a transparent scoring sheet or a rubric. Public trust will be built during the first appointments, and the inaugural board will establish the culture for years to come. These appointments will determine how our residents perceive fairness, whether applicants believe hearings are impartial, whether neighborhoods feel represented, and whether future decisions are respected. An inclusive appointment process creates confidence among residents before the first application is even heard. If these appointments were made collaboratively, future land use decisions are less likely to become political controversies. Ocean residents are more willing to accept unpopular decisions when they believe the decision makers were selected through a balanced and transparent process. On the contrary, if every member owes their appointment to one elected official, every controversial decision risks becoming a debate over politics rather than planning. The goal should be independence, not loyalty. Land use board members should be selected because they demonstrate integrity, planning judgment, willingness to apply the municipal land use law fairly, independence, respect for residents and developers alike, ability to evaluate evidence objectively, and for those who have been serving on either planning or zoning boards, a high attendance rate at previous meetings. Residents and professionals should never wonder whether members feel obligated to support the administration that appointed them. Clearly, independent boards make stronger decisions. And finally, this past week sadly demonstrated why decisions of this board matter in daily lives of every Ocean Township resident. Many residents did not need to look beyond their own windows to see the overwhelming amount of water in their yards, streets, parks, and neighborhoods. Others only had to look in their basements to see the severe flooding firsthand. Unfortunately, this was not an isolated event. For many residents, it is part of a troubling pattern Ocean has experienced for years. These conditions are directly connected to the past decisions that have allowed overdevelopment without adequate attention to stormwater management. Every resident has the right to submit an application to the new land use board to improve their property, and I fully support that right. But the right must be balanced with, amongst other considerations, reasonable planning, proper drainage, and the long-term protection of surrounding neighborhoods. Monday's flooding made clear that these issues are not being taken seriously enough, which is precisely why the appointment process for the new land use board is so critical. Rather than allowing the appointment authority to entirely be with the mayor, we pushed for an open and transparent selection process, which included soliciting public resumes and cover letters from residents interested in serving on the new land use board, including those no longer serving on the former planning and zoning board, which the council in full initially agreed to. The full council would individually review and evaluate candidates' resumes and cover letters, and then full council, individually or in groups of two to avoid violating the Sunshine Law, would conduct interviews of qualified candidates using the scoring sheet or rubric that rated applicants on a number of important qualifications and experience, including Grace Ann read those. And finally, the full council in open session would then discuss their findings, share their recommendations, have what I would have expected to be a spirited debate, and come to a consensus on those individuals who should serve on the new land use board, ensuring recommendations reflected a broad cross-section of neighborhoods, professional backgrounds, and community involvement. Councilwoman Tallarico did go above and beyond, reaching out to the public for potential candidates, receiving nearly 20 submissions of caring and interested Ocean residents. We reviewed those resumes, as she mentioned, interviewed the candidates, completed the rubric, and prepared to discuss our findings at tonight's meeting. It was, however, deeply troubling, but unfortunately not surprising, to receive the final council agenda for this evening's meeting with names already listed for appointment to the new land use board. That raises serious, unavoidable questions. Who determined that these individuals were the most qualified to serve the residents of Ocean Township? What criteria was used to evaluate the experience, judgment, independence, and commitment of the community? Was there a scoring sheet, a rubric used to rate the candidates based on this criteria? Were these interviews held to allow the council members to hear directly from each candidate on the value they would add to the new board? If so, the final selection of candidates did not occur in open session and was never made visible to the public. And if those decisions were made outside of public view, residents have every right to ask why. A board with this much power over Ocean Township's future cannot begin its work under a cloud of unanswered questions. The public deserves more than a list of names on an agenda. It deserves a transparent process that proves these appointments were earned, evaluated, and made the best interest of the entire community. Thank you.
Okay, so you never cease to amaze me, Rob, with your accusatory actions all the time.
All facts.
Rob, you spoke, I was silent, so now it's my turn.
Okay, all facts.
So, you did an accusatory meeting when we were appointing Kevin, and he proved you wrong on just about everything.
One thing. Now let's get the facts right.
So,
one
Rob,
out of 12.
So, Rob, again, I listened intently for 20 minutes.
Mine were factual.
Okay.
You just lied.
Okay, to listen to me. You can say you're factual. That's in your mind.
I'll
But
pull the
now-
recordings up.
You can pull all the recordings up, and now I have a couple of questions. So first off, Kevin, did I direct you at any point to draft an ordinance that made me the appointing power?
No, it was my understanding that the mayor had in the past made the appointments. I've only been here for a year and a half. I thought it was mayor's appointments. It's not. I learned that now, and we changed the ordinance accordingly.
So why wasn't the rest of the council consulted as that ordinance was being developed?
Well, frankly, it was a complex ordinance. So I thought
We're pretty smart. We can handle complex.
Let me tell you what my usual practice is, has been here, has been in every town. When I'm asked to draft an ordinance, I draft it. I present it to the council, your decision, not mine, in draft form. You review it, you contact me with questions. If I had to sit with everybody all the time to draft every ordinance, you'd never get one.
So the
right?
draft ordinance went to the council, all council members at the same time?
I believe it did.
Did it go to the mayor first?
I don't think so. I think it went to everyone at the same time. I'll check my records, but I didn't know you were going to ask that. But,
Fair point.
But I presented it. It's up to you. I present ordinances all the time, and they are changed all the time.
Agreed.
I get comments, I get input on a variety of things. So saying you weren't part of the process, you're directly part of the process from my perspective, all of you, because you all have to vote on it. So I want to make sure you're all aware of it, know what's going on, and comfortable with every ordinance I draft. But it's got to start somewhere.
Can I ask you a question, please? So you based it, though, on the state regulations, and the state regulations stated council members all have equal say and vote. So who told you to change that wording to mayor?
It's
You would have had to have changed
Much of it is based on the state regulations. In a council manager form,
I read the
explain how
regs.
the appointments are done, right? In a mayor council, not here, in a mayor council form, the mayor makes all the appointments. In a borough form, the council makes all of it. In the kind you have here, a council manager form of government, the choice is up to you how it's done. It can be done by the mayor, it can be done by the council. Two different options. State law does not tell you which, it just tells you it's gotta be one of those two. You've chosen to have it done by the council. That's fine.
I mean, I have the email somewhere, but you had put in the email that you were directed by the mayor to do that. I
was
have
not.
the email.
I was not directed by the mayor to do it.
Okay.
And Jesse, how many ordinances have I requested that be added to this agenda? Any agenda?
None.
None, because I've never asked for any ordinances or resolutions to be added to any agenda. When Kevin was told about the mayor doing the appointment, did I kick and scream about it? No. I said, change it. I don't care. I really don't. I want to get the process done. I started sending emails on the 19th of June. No one responded. I requested that the interviewed names that you guys were interviewing submit to someone. You chose not to. I also asked multiple times to send the names in. Nobody did. David told you that you had every right to send in whatever names you wanted to. Kevin told Grace Ann she had every right. Now, it's funny how you want to point everything at me as the mayor, and you want to blame me, and you want to run to David every time you have a problem with the mayor, yet you have the same authority that everybody else does at this table. You had every right to send the names in. You asked me why we're waiting to the last minute. Why did you wait until July 9th to make a 20-minute speech and submit no names? Tell me about a rubric. Tell me about this. Tell
Because
me
we've
about
been
that.
asking for it since January.
Okay, so I've been asking for an economic development committee for you to take over since November. Haven't heard a word.
Have you
The
asked
other
me
thing-
since November?
Huh?
Have
Why
you
do I
asked-
have to ask you, Rob? Aren't you a big boy?
You're a bigger boy.
Well, I don't have to ask you, Rob.
Tell
You're
me what you
equal,
need.
aren't you? I don't need to tell you what I need.
Then we're doing
You
fine.
wanted to take-
We're doing
well,
fine.
good, I'm
Dave Brown
glad-
is taking care of the economic development in town.
I am.
We're talking about
you.
this
Now,
today.
all I'm saying is
We're
that we
getting off
talk
track.
about delaying, and
I
when I
asked
try to
for
move the
3
process.
special meetings to discuss this prior to today, and I
So
was
we're supposed to have a
denied.
special meeting
Yes, to
every
have a
time we do
deliberation.
an agenda item?
No,
There,
no.
Every time, this is the
This is
first
the
and
first
only
and
time
only
a
time.
new land use board
Yes.
is being developed.
so then why didn't you discuss these at the other
We
workshop meetings?
Did.
Did you request to
Yes.
Jesse to extend the time like we did
You
tonight?
kept pushing it off.
I didn't push
Oh my
anything
God.
off, Rob. Where did I push it off?
We've sent email, she sent
I've
emails.
sent-
and
So
we
if
asked
you
for
were
it.
22
so,
emails.
And
if we,
Colleen asked for it as well.
if we were so intent on giving names and interviewing names, why didn't either one of you submit any?
Because
Because
it's
there's
public
Then
session.
we,
There ain't- I'm answering
fine,
the
Sunshine
then
question.
we are here
law.
right now. And you knew about this and you were fine with the entire process.
Until the name showed up last night on the
No,
agenda.
no.
Yes, yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes.
no. You were fine with taking a preferred list of the existing members because
Not taking
Colleen,
it, asking for it.
Colleen had said multiple times, and you agreed that for us to start over, she, first
I
of
didn't
all,
agree to that.
didn't even think the planning board was gonna be disbanded.
Mm-hmm.
She had no idea, and if I knew it was gonna turn into this,
Mm-hmm.
I would have never have agreed to merge these boards, because this is ridiculous.
We knew it on November.
You
when it
have
passed.
known about a merging of the boards since Ron Kirk was here, okay? You agreed and placed it on the referendum. You voted in the affirmative to get it as a referendum.
Correct.
You were fine with doing it from the existing boards until a few months ago.
Wait,
Until
no, that's not
no,
true.
no, until a few months ago.
It's not true.
When your tune changed, Rob.
No.
Let's
We
talk
can go
fact.
back to the meetings.
Let's
and
talk fact.
Why Colleen and why our professionals didn't tell us, or
Well-
we did know.
So then we're here right now. Who do you guys suggest?
Hang on. I'd like to read the email. Can
Sure.
I? Okay. This is from you. I spoke with the mayor about the process in Ocean, and he told me that the appointments had always been made by the mayor after consultation with the council. So based on that information, I drafted the proposed ordinance to have the mayor designated as the authority to appoint the Class 4 members. I've since been informed by Jesse that the council would annually adopt a resolution to appoint the Class 4 members, and based on Jesse's information, I recommended changing the proposed ordinance to be consistent with past practice and to have the appointments made by the council. So,
That's what I just said.
So that's what
that's
he
not
said.
what you said.
And-
That's not what you
exactly
said.
what I said. I was told that the mayor made the appointments. I think
By
John
It was
him.
my-
it was his understanding as
You
well.
were not
that-
here when the former mayor was here, but the former mayor always told us who was going on the agenda. That's how it was done. I answered the question. That's all I did.
And
I didn't direct him to make the ordinance.
And I hadn't
He
been
changed
here.
the ordinance once Jesse sent him the email.
Yeah, I hadn't been here, I hadn't been here for a year and a half, I wasn't aware. I knew there was 2 different ways to do it. And he told me how it was done, I was like, all right, I'll draft the ordinance that way. Which I thought was consistent with the historical practice in Ocean Township. Jesse, he's probably been here longer than anybody, sorry, said, no, here's what the records show, and I changed it. I have no qualms about how I acted, and that email is what I just said.
It's not though. You said that.
Well, I'm not gonna do it.
We're not gonna talk about semantics here.
Go ahead. So then let's go. What are the recommendations? I mean, why are we so quiet about it? Why is it a secret? Why am I the only one that put names in?
Because this is supposed to be a public discussion.
So then
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a public
discussion,
discussion.
and we can change a resolution.
That's what it says.
No problem here. You got 5 of us. So let's hear. Because honestly, I called all the resumes that I had in there and spoke to almost everybody except one person who I played phone tag with. Okay, I spoke to almost every single person on that list.
I heard that you spoke between 1 minute to 2 minutes, and you asked them if they had any questions. That's what I heard. from
Okay,
the
so you
applicants.
can hear all you want, but there were a couple people that I spoke
Okay.
to longer than that.
I don't think that's a
Like-
real interview.
Okay, well, you know what? You
It's to
interview your
say
way,
that you
I'll
did
interview
it.
my way. So,
Mhm.
again, let's
Do you
go.
have- do you
I mean,
have-
I didn't go and chase people down to put their name
I
in
didn't
there either.
chase anyone down.
Yeah,
I
you
put
did,
out-
because I went to somebody's house and they
Did
told me
you?
you called them up to put a resume in.
I didn't call anyone up.
Okay.
My hand to God, I never
Do
called
you,
I'm
anyone.
not
Can
standing
I
here.
ask you guys a question, as I'm, just want to chip in from the,
Please.
Peanut gallery?
from
Yeah.
150 yards out. So how do you feel about the existing board members who have put their blood, sweat, time, and tears for no pay to be on this particular board?
Great,
So,
thank you.
so that's the thing that I want to clear up, because I think some of these people are super, super qualified.
Great.
And they're on my list. So I just want to make sure that we haven't discounted their time, their energy, and their commitment.
Not at all.
Okay, because, I mean,
But you also shouldn't discount the other 19,000
Correct,
qualified
correct.
residents, which
But-
you guys are doing.
but I do believe there is an absolute experience level that is really important to a land use board.
I
And-
started without experience, you started without experience,
did,
and Gita
but-
started, and John started without
but there's
and
a-
all of us did.
But remember,
No,
there's
sorry.
never a brand new board. It's usually a flowing,
Nobody
you
said
add
there
on
should-
here and you know, on there. And you do learn from experience, you do learn from the professionals. And there's no doubt about it. The first day on the zoning board, you're looking around like, what day
Agreed.
is it?
Right.
So I just want to make sure that we're not demeaning some of these people's time and energy, because,
Thank them.
because I really believe this is, of all the jobs I've ever done in this town, this definitely goes up there in the more thankless jobs.
Agreed.
And I think it has a potential to change a lot of things. There are rules and regulations, so it's not like you can go in and just make sweeping changes. But I don't want to dismiss any of these people's hard work. I just want to get that out
Agreed.
there.
But
okay?
on the flip side, I'll repeat myself, there's not a single new member on that whole list.
Nope.
So you guys haven't considered anybody else.
Well, you know, that's...
You haven't recommended anybody else.
They can't legally. I mean, they can't be public.
You can't,
They can send the list to the clerk like I did, and she can send it out.
You know, you can't.
No. Okay.
That violates the
Is that
sunshine law.
violating
No,
anything?
you can, what the mayor did was propose the names. I think somebody's got to start the ball rolling here. The mayor put out his list of preferred names. We've talked about this, whether that violated the Sunshine Act. It absolutely did not. The mayor can make his preferences known. The mayor didn't send out and say, hey, a majority of the council has agreed on these names. He couldn't do that. That would have been problematic. He can put out his preferences. I told you this, you could put out your preferences. Here's who I'd like to see. You can do that. You can't have a discussion with the quorum. You can't agree on names outside of a public meeting. That's the Sunshine Act. But putting names out, say, hey, this is what I'd like, there's nothing wrong with that.
I disagree with that.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, I'm the lawyer to give the legal opinion, so, you know.
I've had many discussions with different lawyers about the Sunshine Law. I was on the board for 6 years, and this came up many times. So your discussion is very different than other people's opinion. And if we all handed out a list of names, that would influence other people, and it's not in public session. So that's a walking quorum.
I've never heard that term before you used the other day, but does not violate the Sunshine Act.
Well, I guess we would have to go to Superior Court to see.
Well,
Having said that, again, my expectation, my understanding.
So we're here, we're discussing it. You got, 30 minutes left. Let's hear some names. Why is this a secret?
It's not.
Who are we gonna pull, who do you wanna pull off? I'm sitting here with an open mind because honestly, there were a bunch of people in the new list that were great. I'll agree with you.
So you're taking off the list from the agenda that you put
I didn't
out?
take it off. I just
How
said,
can
let's
you?
hear your names.
It's under individual action, so you can replace. You can take someone
Correct.
off and
You
replace
can pull
it.
out.
And
Okay.
that will be and it'll
Then
be
I
red.
will give you
And it will be
the
red.
reason why I chose
And there's
certain
one
people.
empty that
Yep.
it's no one.
So I'm also going to
I know
say
attendance was a big issue.
attendance is a big
So
issue.
what is let me ask you a question. What is a decent, what's acceptable in terms of attendance rates?
I would say 75% or more.
Okay,
Because
then you would have been
there's
off the
two.
zoning board and the Board of Education because your
Oh,
attendance
okay.
was in the
I was an
70
alternate.
to 74%
I was
range.
just alternate.
But not on the Board of Education you weren't.
I was on for 6 years. Did you
I
go through
have
all
your
6
attendance
years?
because just like you checked,
6
people sent me
years?
yours.
Really? 6 years?
I don't have
Please.
6 years, I have the last
Let
3.
me know.
Okay, I don't want to go back
Okay.
6.
Well, I'll look that up too, and I'll bring it next time.
So
Go
can
for it.
Can I flip it?
No, she's going now. Her
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
What's your expectation of your, on attendance?
In here?
No. For
You mean on the
zoning or
planning board?
It should be 80%.
70%.
There's 2 meetings a
right.
month.
Yeah, no, I'm curious. I don't know that there's a right answer.
I
There's certainly-
don't really have an answer because that's why there's alternates and there's things that come up and there's a reason why
I'm
we
trying
have
to stay
alternates.
silent because obviously I'm one of the names on the list. But in terms of the attendance, I just want to make clear that for the planning board, when more often than not there is nothing on the agenda, getting a phone call from Colleen, in my opinion, or Nicole, saying that your attendance is not required because we have a quorum and there's nothing on the agenda was sufficient for me.
Or multiple people that have kids that have games or something else, they've called Colleen and said, hey, I can't make the meeting. Do you need me? I'll switch things around. Colleen will say, I have alternates. No problem. That's why they were there. I was an alternate on the Board of Adjustment for 4 years. I never became a regular member, but I showed up every time. My idea is to show up at every meeting.
That's a great
That's,
idea. I
but
agree
that's
with you.
me. Not,
Okay, but
listen
that's
to me,
what
that's
we
not
need.
everybody.
That's
I have
what
to
we
be,
need.
I have to be cognizant of people's private lives. They're kids. They get sick. Things come up. That's why there's alternates.
If you think that every time, I agree with you on that. We agree. Because it's important to have.
But that's me. I'm that way.
And
I
you
don't
know what? There's 3 members from that list that actually did show up almost every single time.
Okay.
So I
go
will give
for
you
it.
my list, but I also want to preface it with there's some people that are existing on these boards that I did ask for a resume for because I don't know them. And if I don't know what they do for a living or how long they've been on there or get even a second to interview them, how can I, in good faith, vote for them? So the people that I did not receive a resume for, I could not vote for because I don't know them.
But you could have called them.
Why would I call them when I asked for
I
a
call
resume
people.
and you told them not to send it to us?
Listen to me, you could have called them.
Wow. Okay. Well, they didn't send me the resume. That was
what
my
I
process.
said was I found it insulting that I have to ask an architect to send in his resume.
I asked for the resumes from their very first appointment
Well-
and received nothing. No resumes. So I guess we don't have them here. So no
Okay,
one
I-
knew
I didn't
on
keep-
the
I don't
council
keep the
will ever
files.
know who's on these
I don't
boards.
have the files.
Okay. I'm not saying you.
Well, I'm getting accused of everything else. I might as well get accused of shredding the files now.
No one accused you of shredding
I don't know. It seemed like I had a lot of
No
accusations
one
from them. So
accused
go
you.
for it.
I'd
Why
like
don't
to
you
see
throw a
this
few
list,
more?
though. Can we get to the list?
Here's-
It is important.
This was resolution.
Yeah, can I see it? Now, that list I've got. I mean,
That's
I'm
the
talking
one-
about, I want to hear
Oh, that's
who
the
are the
one.
other candidates that were.
Look, every single person should have their own list. We have 11 people that we can choose.
Okay.
My list will be different than his. It'll be different than yours.
Well,
Okie doke.
Want me to start? I'll start.
Sure.
So I have Authority, Williams, Alcon, Fuches,
can you
Lineski,
slow down a little bit?
Intramaso,
Authority, William.
Alcon, Fuchs, I hope I'm saying that right. Fuchs, sorry, I apologize. And just let me preface this. I don't know any of these people. They're not my friends. And they're not my relatives. I don't work for them.
That's implied.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Not really. Lineski, who happens to actually be on the one of the boards and wasn't asked if he wanted to continue. Intramaso, Dimitro, Hedaya, Pugielli, DeGennaro, Littman, and Roussel. That's my list.
So, I'm just going to throw this out there. Again, I did speak to everybody. And you're right, I didn't speak, some longer than others. But one of those people on the list, it's pretty interesting. That person was blind copied on an email and inadvertently did a reply all to myself, the attorney, the editor of the Coaster, and pardon my language, but the reason why they wanted to be on the board was I can see the two of us being real shit stirrers.
Who would you say?
Love it. Well, I'm
Who would
not
say
gonna.
that?
I
Please
can
tell
give you
me.
the emails later. I'm not gonna name
Yeah, I
the
would
names
like
right
to
now.
know who would say that.
But well, it's right in print, and I'll give it to you later.
Oh, okay.
But the bottom line is, when I see stuff like that, which is from another person that's on there, it's really troubling to me that somebody that you chose wants to be on this board to stir the pot. This board is a professional board. This board is chosen
Is
to...
that person here that we can discuss with him or her what they
Listen
even
to me.
talking
It's
about, what the
it's-
context is, and what they're talking about?
They didn't realize they were saying that to the entire group. They thought they were writing it back to the person, and unfortunately, it came to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that the people that are currently on the boards are doing the right thing by the community. Now, you want to talk about the flooding and everything else that went on. This was way before these two boards were on there. As a matter of fact, most of the people, on these boards, the two past boards, have only been on between 4 and 5 years at the most. So they're not even on that long. They've gotten their stride, they've got their professions, and again, seeing something like that in an email is troublesome to
Well,
me.
there's a lot of different emails that I have we can go through since you're bringing up emails. Because you sent me an email, let's see, July 3rd, 2023, where you told me that you need to get more qualified women because they too will be added to the board when you decide that they're qualified. Let's see, you also wrote that you are recommending other people, other residents, because you wanted to give more people the opportunity to be involved in the decision-making process in the town. But this round, you didn't allow any new person.
Because these people just got on the boards,
They did
like
not.
I just said.
That's ridiculous. You're absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
I was on in 21, and I served with some of them. So you're lying.
Well, again, you wouldn't be on the board based on your attendance procedures.
Oh, okay. I was an alternate, please.
Doesn't matter, you
Yeah,
still
it
show up.
does.
I showed up
She
as an
shows up for
alternate.
50%, and there's one meeting a month.
Well, because she was
Okay.
told not to go to
Yeah.
certain meetings.
What? You would want to go if you are a full member.
If she's being told
Okay.
that she doesn't
She's right
need to
here.
be there.
In the room.
You always have an answer.
Okay,
Tom.
so,
You know, a lie is still a lie, even if you believe it.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Rob?
Give me 2 seconds. I didn't, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Authority,
11.
Williams, Alcon, Fuchs, Lineski, Intermesso, DeGennaro, Pugielli, Hedaya.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Littman and Roussel.
Thank you.
Grace, when you say Lanowski, you mean Mark Lanowski?
Yes.
He's the United Five?
Lise,
Oh,
Lise,
Hi, Lisa.
not in here,
I
no,
didn't see you
no
back
public.
Nice to see you.
I got DeFiglia, Kaplan, DeGennaro, Palutis, Shamara, Littman, I always get his
I know.
freaking name right. Anthony Pugielli, sorry.
I learned that from Dave.
Riffon, I should know it too. Danizuk, Sasson, Williams, Ruzel, Alcon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Chicken scratch me.
That's okay. Oh, man. Listen.
Sasson.
So just to clear up, is Gita John's appointment, or Gita is her own appointment?
Council.
She's council appointment?
Appointed by the majority of the council. You have to choose one member of the council to be on the planning board. And
Right.
it's choice of the majority of the council.
Right. And Ed DeFilia is the Class 2, which is approved by the mayor or the council? The mayor.
The
Got it.
environmental
No,
commission
no.
person.
No.
The appointment to the environmental commission is by
Is
the
the mayor,
mayor.
correct.
The appointment of an environmental commission member to the planning board is a choice of the entire council.
Okay, but somebody from the environmental commission is to be on the planning board?
Correct.
Got
He's
it.
the only one.
Correct.
Got
So you're
it.
limited to that, but it is council
Correct.
appointment, right?
Okay. And then everybody else is just,
The majority of council appointment.
got it.
And the mayor's seat is
Do you need this,
the
Justin?
mayor.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Do you guys have your lists?
I do. You ready? Surprisingly, Rob, we were rather aligned, which I'm intrigued by.
Crazier things have happened.
I'm actually really intrigued by this. Going down the list, Gita, Ed DeFilia, John Fuller, DeGennaro, Palutis, Gino, Delomo, Chamora, Littman, Manel, Buglisi, Pugielli, I'm sorry, which I haven't written the right way, and Robbie Goslin. But I have 13, right? Katie Williams and Darren Shabbat. So those were my 13.
I missed a couple. Did you get them all?
I can give it to you again.
Go ahead, do it real quick.
Gita,
Yep.
Ed, John Fuller,
John.
DeGennaro,
Yep.
Palutis, Delomo, Chamora, Littman,
Chamorro.
Manel, Gielli, Goslin, Katie Williams, and Darren Shabbat. And I also believe that, there's some really good people on here. Put them in the bullpen, and, things change.
Erica. In that order, so the last 4 alternates?
Yeah, really, put them in a great order here, but these are my 2 alternates for sure, and this one for sure, and I don't know what else to do there, but these for sure on the alternate list. Okay.
I think that's more 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I think this was 14.
13. I got 13 from Dave.
Okay. I got Williams and Shabbat. Wait,
What do you got, Ms. Kaplan?
I see the list. I first want to say that I'm not going to put myself on this list. I'm serving at the
Pleasure of the council.
pleasure of the council.
Council.
I am not doing this for any vested interest in anything. I give my own time to be at these meetings, 50% or not. And I do it because I want to help the community, not because I have any other interest in doing so. If someone else wants it, put your name in the hat.
That's why
It's a
you're-
big time commitment.
That's why you're on my list.
Thank you. DeFilia, Fuller, DeGennaro.
I'm sorry.
And let me preface this by saying I have served with Colleen. I've served with pretty much all of these people, whether it be on zoning or planning. I know them all personally, and I think that they are excellent. And I trust Colleen's opinion, which is why I'm reading directly off of this list. Okay?
Oh, so
So it's
the
pretty
list.
much the list recommended by our professional, Colleen.
Who's the Okay, so who are you adding?
I'm adding Darren Shabbat.
Yeah, I gotta add one too.
So just for the record, that list is, I don't want to say your list, but it's your list. The list was
Here,
published.
right.
This is
Whatever one I
Colleen's
sent
list.
over. I mean, I'm the only
That's
one that
what
sent
I-
names.
Well,
This is
that's not what I'm
the-
asking. So
Yeah.
what ended up on the agenda is your list.
I'm assuming.
It's
Yes,
the names
the
proposed by
resolution
Colleen.
from the
Yeah,
mayor,
that's what
Yeah,
that's correct.
that's proposed by Colleen.
Now, I'm also, in Rob's category, surprisingly, even the ones that I put into the bullpen are
Why didn't we do this freaking 6 months ago,
all
then?
the
Damn
s-
it.
well,
Well, we
listen to me,
can-
I wasn't,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna get into that discussion, but I did, I had met Darren Shabbat months ago when he was interested, before this process even was up there. I don't have a problem having Darren on as another alternate, but then I also have the bonus of grabbing a designee. So I give my commitment that one of these people will be picked as one of my designees, and I haven't decided yet.
Oh, so you're not sitting on the board?
I am going to in the beginning, but I have a designee that I can send. So my seat will always have somebody in it, whether it's me or a designee, because I get a designee. I haven't decided yet, but I do like the ones you mentioned, the ones you named. Rivon, Danzig, Williams, Alcon. Honestly, there were a lot of good ones. I can't argue.
They were
I
all
can't
qualified.
say, and I don't need to have a 45-minute conversation to review a resume and have a conversation with people. I looked at the resumes, I reviewed the resumes, very qualified. And, like I said, I don't, I had, what's his name on here, Nick, too, on my list. So, like I said, they're good. It's tough. It's tough. I wish we had more seats. I wish there were more, but I don't see everybody staying on forever either. Honestly, we
You know
can
what,
look. We can look at the attendance, and if they're not attending, and
Yeah, if you're
they're
not attending,
then we'll move them off.
Mayor, I served for 5 years on the planning board, as I'm sure all of you know, and things changed. People moved on. People left. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of people who passed away. So life goes on.
People
So
move.
people move out of the town. So you've got really great qualified people. I thank them so much for applying and even putting themselves out there, because this is not an easy gig. We'll put you in the bullpen, and then we will, as spots come open, you'll have opportunities. I
don't even want to go out anymore. I think we've got a lot of people and other positions that potentially come up that we can, ask them if they want. We've got alternates on environmental commission, and Dave's always got shade tree, and we've got different things that they can go on. So now we've got people in the bullpen, which is what we've been looking for.
I would encourage anybody to get involved. If you want to get involved with the town, get involved. Find some way to get involved. It's all great if we just sit around and do our thing, but
one thing I
come
think
on.
that's got to be clear: these current two boards are not the reason why we flooded out. Okay, this has been an ongoing thing here in the town. And we have systematically worked on changing the board. Now the board, we have changed our impervious coverage ordinances.
trees.
We are stream cleaning. We are doing all sorts of things to rectify the mess. We've got redevelopments coming in where we can require more stormwater retention, more water mitigation, all that stuff. So the problems that are caused in this town, and even things that are coming up today, these have been in the pen for 3 4 years. So even these people can't be blamed, because everything's starting to come through that was working through the board now, the approval process that's done, anything that's being built. I'm watching it today. I spent hours outside at different areas where we have problems.
Can we pick a list or that we go downstairs, because we have to go downstairs in 7 minutes.
Right.
Let's go, Class 1U. Is everyone in agreement on Ed DeFiglia for
Yes.
Class 2?
Yes.
And Gita for Class 3?
She's
Yes.
got the
Okay.
majority, so yes.
Everybody seemed to be okay with De Janeiro
Yes,
and Palutis?
yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
And Fuller. And you, Fuller wasn't on yours, yours?
It's got the majority.
Okay.
He was on your list, Dave?
Yes.
I don't have it, I'm sorry.
Okay. Palutis, we said yes. Gino Delamo.
He's got a majority.
Jason Chimura.
He's got a majority.
Then we did Lisa. Okay, now we're down to our alternates. Eric Manel,
Mhm.
Anthony Puccielli,
Yes.
Robert Goslin, and I need a fourth. We need a new person.
I'm good with Darren.
I had Ribbon as my next.
Ribbon?
Ribbon?
Ribbon. Okay, we have two for, and you had that, Grace Ann, you had him too, right, or her?
No, Ed Williams.
I didn't have mine.
I mean, I would go to Williams if there was a majority.
Dave Fisher had Williams too.
Darren and Williams.
There's only 2 women on the whole board.
You wanna go with Williams? There's, cause you had Grace Ann, you had Williams, Rob, you had Williams, and Dave, you had Williams, that's 3. We'll go with Katie Williams. Someone has to make a decision.
I'm not arguing with you, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay.
I like
I
you.
can do-
Katie
I
would.
can do Darren as my alternate
Yeah.
potentially. I'm good with Katie
Okay,
as my designate.
so tonight when we get to this, you'll read the names,
Okay,
when we get to the individual action.
okay.
We'll do the vouchers and
I'm
then
sorry,
this.
read the names, but
Yeah.
you're voting, just for the record,
Yes.
you're voting individually or voting?
Well, we're gonna do the
Just so we
resolution,
understand.
we'll do the resolution and he'll read the names.
So again, are you voting on individuals or are you
No,
voting on the resolution?
On the resolution, but we'll name the names, because the names aren't on. But
I got you. I
Katie
just wanna
Williams,
understand.
actually, everybody is here except Katie. So you could say adding Katie Williams as alternate 4. And
Should
You
we
can-
ask them first if they are still interested?
Katie, or all the people.
We can appoint her
And you
next
know what,
time if you
and
want
if
to
they,
wait.
if they're not, we have a list of people that are.
I think Katie would be. I don't know what would have
What-
changed in
yeah,
a
why
week.
would you-
In her case,
Yeah.
I don't,
Why would you?
I mean,
Apply.
I can ask, but I don't think there's gonna be a change there.
Okay.
So
So really, if it's all that, then it would be, we'll vote, if you look at the agenda, we have the vouchers and then resolution to
Yeah,
approve
so
the
I-
appointments on the planning board. Everybody that's on there, adding Katie Williams as alternate 4. Got that?
It's good.
All right, can I ask a quick procedural question? We got anything else to cover?
No,
Can
but
I-
we should probably take 5 before we go. Go ahead, Brooke.
Can I ask a procedural question? So when we make a motion, John asks for somebody to introduce the resolution ordinance, then we second it, and we don't ask for debate. We just go right to a vote.
All council members are free to make comments before.
But we do that individually as opposed to a debate before the vote starts. From a Robert's rules or procedural perspective, isn't that a little
Motion
backwards?
should be on the floor first. There should
Correct,
be-
no, that I agree with, but then we start the vote and comment as opposed to comment from everybody before the vote. Not suggesting anything's gonna change tonight, but just from a procedural standpoint,
I think that's why they moved the things to the consent agenda.
which is also fine. You
Yeah.
can still, but
I don't understand, there's a motion and a second, and they can comment. I don't understand the question.
so, but respectfully, John then goes person to person for the vote, not a general comment session.
No.
Look, this is, I mean, if you say, before we get to a vote, I'd like to make a comment, it's up to John to say, okay, you want to make a comment. Or you could say, when it's my turn to vote, I'll make a comment. I mean, whatever, I don't know if there's any magic to it. Is that what you're saying? Like when
I
you-
am, because procedure, again, from a Robert's Rules perspective, it's Motion, second, debate, vote.
Yes, typically there's, at least in my experience.
Again,
there's
we
not-
haven't
there's
had an
not-
issue, but somebody brought it up, an attorney brought it up to me today. I said, you know what, you got a point. Let me bring it up.
Debate, comment. I mean, I equate they're the same in this context, right? If you want to debate or
Agreed,
comment.
but you're doing it individually as opposed to a group.
Well, no, anyone can.
Yeah, but if I'm first, or if Grace Ann is first, she's voting before we all have a chance to comment. That's my point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, this is, there's no magic to this. There's no, Robert's Rules doesn't answer this.
Okay.
This is a small body. that
Okay. Got it.
I would just say, hey, can I make a comment before we get to it? And Grace Ann say, do you mind if I make a comment? Or, when it
Before
comes
the
to your
vote.
time to vote, you have the floor, you can make your comment. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other. But I think if you say, hey, John, I'd like to make a comment before we start voting, I don't think you'd say no.
That's fine.
Right?
Yeah, nothing on.
We do it all the time.
But we do it, again, I don't want to beat a dead
You make
horse.
comments.
But I do it individually. And I'm first,
But
so
these-
it's easy for me. So I'm voting before anybody else gets to make a comment.
Right, but you do make comments. So I mean, I
We're sort
don't
of
think
saying,
we've been stopped. So,
Ordinances, you and Grace Ann.
for my agenda.
Grace Ann, ordinances, you second. And one day, you're gonna go first for ordinance.
I'm good at being second.
I didn't hear you when I wasn't paying attention.
Ordinances, you'll also.
Just want to remind everybody that all council meetings will be audio and video taped. They'll be shown on Township of Ocean's Community Cable Channel, Channel 22, on Verizon Fios, and Channel 77 on Cablevision. Everyone please stand as we... Oh, no, wait. Roll call, please. Wait a minute. No, roll call.
Mayor Napolitani?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fisher?
Here.
Councilmember Sechera? Here. Kaplan? Here. And Tallarico?
Here.
Can everyone please stand as we do a Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing as we do a silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. You may be seated. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for the meeting have been satisfied, and a copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Coaster, and posted in Town Hall, filed with the Office of the Municipal Clerk on December 18, 2025. There are 2 emergency exits to my right that'll take you to the front of the building, 1 to my left that'll take you to the rear. Please make sure all your cell phones are turned off. If you need to make a call, kindly step outside. I am going to flip the agenda around a bit. We're skipping council comments and going back to it, as well as our public hearing, because we have a gentleman here who has spent a significant amount of time in this community, not only volunteering, but also doing the reports of the word on the street. So we are going to honor Jack Kearns tonight. So if I can have the council come down as we get ready to honor Jack Kearns. Come on, Jack, get on my back, buddy. You want to get on my back? Come on.
on your back a long time.
It's okay, buddy. Come on, hold on to me, buddy.
I like the way you work.
You want to sit down? I'll come over here. You good?
Yeah, I'll stand up.
You sure?
I got
You want to bring a chair? Deputy Mayor, get him his chair, man. We don't want him sitting up. You good? Oh, they're all taped together. All right, look, we'll stand on each side, yeah? There you go.
It's the best one in the whole place.
There you go. Let's go right here. Don't go too far.
It's like a throne.
You good, Jack? All right, here we go.
Not bad for a mature person. That's his line.
All right, here we go. Wow, does this sound all right? This is loud tonight, huh? Right? Okay, here we go. We are going to honor Jack Kearns, and it's so good to see out here from our Shade Tree and Environmental Commission members that are on the board. And Jack spent many years on our Shade Tree Commission. I've gotten to know Jack over the years, and yeah, Jack, what'd you used to report for, Jack?
The link, and then later my son opened a paper, and I did that for a while, but then he had too many things to do, so he dropped the paper just to get it going. But it's still viable if anybody gets interested in doing it.
So Jack would come out to the meetings. Now, Jack, look, I'm not allowed to ask a woman her age, but I can ask you, Jack, how old are you right now?
19 or 29, I forget.
I thought you didn't get to 39 yet? Come on, Jack.
I'll tell you, let me give you a tip. On October 8th of this year, I'll be 90 years old. God bless.
There we go. So, Jack, just so you know, we do a super senior luncheon in, November, and you've hit that age. I think we lowered it to 85. But
you listen to me. Thanks.
Yeah, we listen to you. We want you to attend a few of these. So, Jack spent many years, really advocating for the community. And, with over time, we have come up with different ordinances to strengthen the municipality with the environment. We have a ton of open space. Their team has created a shade tree plan. He's been involved with the Environmental Commission. We've straightened out impervious coverage. We've done a lot, right, Jack?
You've done a heck of a lot, and there's more to go, and you're finding good people to do it, so you can't lose. Just stay with it.
So, Jack, what else can we do? Because as you depart, I want to hear, some of the things that we can make this group do, because I know Kronheim out there wants a little more added to her list, right, Patty?
I just have to learn how to land my jet plane. The 200-seaters? Yeah.
But Jack, what else can we do? Like, what do you see as like something we should really look for?
Stay with what you're doing. For the most part, I can't think of anything since I was active on the team. For personal readings at home, I don't make the Shade Tree Committee. Hopefully I will at some point, but I do keep track of what y'all are doing. And I've learned to talk that language, so I might as well keep saying it. We have some really nice people here in this town, and not just the official committees, but the little local town neighborhoods where they started to do things like planting flowers or something like that. The big thing in my time was, I think, trees, just because it was something that everybody was cutting them down because whatever the real reason. I don't want to mention that, I guess. I would call it greed. Well, no, I wouldn't call it greed. I'd call it something even worse.
Well, Jack, we got a proclamation for you. This is for John Jack Kearns for his years of dedicated service on the Shade Tree Commission. Whereas the preservation, protection, and enhancement of the community's trees and natural landscape contribute greatly to the beauty, environmental health, and quality of the life enjoyed by all residents. And whereas John Jack Kearns has faithfully served on the Shade Tree Commission for over 10 years, dedicating countless hours to the stewardship and care of the community's urban forest. And whereas throughout his tenure, Jack demonstrated unwavering commitment, thoughtful leadership, and a deep appreciation for the importance of maintaining healthy trees, promoting sustainable practices, and preserving the natural character of the municipality for future generations. And whereas Jack has worked collaboratively with fellow commissioners, municipal officials, volunteers, and residents to advance tree planting initiatives, support responsible tree maintenance practices, and encourage public appreciation of the importance of urban forestry. And whereas the mayor and council wish to recognize and express their sincere gratitude for Jack's years of exemplary public service, commitment, and lasting contributions to the Township of Ocean. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and Council of the Township of Ocean that we hereby extend heartfelt appreciation and commendation to Jack Kearns for his distinguished service on the Shade Tree Commission, and we wish him continued success, good health, and happiness in all your future endeavors, and an early happy 90th birthday to you, sir. So thank you very much. Let's give Jack a big round of applause. Jack, look, they're standing for you, buddy. Smile, Jack. Here we go. Let's go. Here, Jack, hold this.
Smile with your crew, Jack.
I always smile when I'm here, even when I'm working my neck.
Hey, can I have my environmental people up here also? Let's go. We got our Environmental Commission Chairman Ed DeFiglia coming up. Let's go. Environmental Commission people.
sit through those meetings.
And Shade Tree. I forgot. We got them all. Let's balance it out.
I'd like to just say a few.
Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. Norm's got a few words to say.
I just want to point out to everybody that, Jack, there's certain jobs that have to be done, okay? Do this job, do that job, et cetera, but there's one job that Jack always did with pleasure, and that was, when are we going to do this? Get up off the chairs and let's make it happen, okay? This guy's an instigator. There's no question about it. And the problem was, he was right most of the time. That was very annoying. Most of the time, Jack. I'm sorry. I'm not going to lie to you.
You're still good.
Anyway, but he's always been a positive influence to everybody, and it's been a pleasure working with him.
Thanks, Norm. Excellent. All right, Jack.
This is me just coming out of the shower and just doing it.
Color. Oh, you're so soft. I love it. If I could be guaranteed it would come in like that. I think next year I'm gonna do it. Yeah. You like it? Streaks, Grace.
He never answered his son's email. His son had an online one. Not the coach. He's worked for the link. But the link is the online one.
Somebody else had.
Yeah. But I'm thinking he had an online one. He'd always write up. When he was here, he was always writing about us. Council.
What's that?
Saying that he drove. It was his son started it. Sure.
Okay, right? We ready? Let's continue. Okay, we're going to start off with council comments. I'm going to start down with Deputy Mayor Dave Fisher. Go ahead, Dave. On to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I had a fluffy, feel-good story about the Kenny Pickett success story, but I've got to absolutely divert to our first responders and all the wonderful things that occurred in that horrible ceiling collapse and flooding in this town. I don't think anybody really appreciates how great our emergency services are. Our police department ran into that building, and they were expecting the absolute worst. And thank God nobody got killed, but thank God for these guys. The fire marshals that were on duty that day jumped right in. The response from the sheriff's department, from departments as far as Somerville coming down here. Personally, my office is over on 257 Monmouth Road, and I left my office at 11:40, and literally 15 minutes later, they had to bring boats in and rescue the people in that building. So it was unbelievable how bad this was. It seems to be unprecedented, these storms. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen Route 35 with water literally flowing down by Wegmans. It's just, thank God nobody really got hurt. And I can't stress enough, you know, our emergency management people are top shelf. Tom Rue, police department, fire department, you guys are great. The second unsung hero that most people don't realize is we have a connection at JCP&L, and Jose is integral. He is our connection to JCP&L. And to have a relationship like this with somebody about getting our lights on as quick as possible is probably one of the best assets to this township. And I can tell you, these people don't sleep at night. They work so hard, and this, you know, crisis could have been a lot worse. So thank you to all those wonderful people, and I will leave it there, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councilwoman Kaplan.
Just want to echo the Deputy Mayor's thanks to our police force, OEM, Tom, our fire people. I personally also, I think a lot of people had a rough weekend between the power outages on Friday and then the storms on Monday. It was kind of a rough weekend in Ocean Township. Thank you, and I'm so happy that, you know, everybody that was in BJ's is okay. My own mother-in-law was there 5 minutes before the ceiling collapsed, and everyone is a little shook, and I hope this weekend and the rest of the summer is enjoyable and pleasant for everybody in Ocean. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Achara.
Echo everything. I won't repeat it. And add to the thanks to the Department of Sanitation, DPW. That morning started off with a sanitation truck fire and ended with well, then BJ's and then the flooding. So it was a three-bagger. But the sanitation department put that fire out safely. Nobody was hurt. So, but kudos to all the first responders that took care of BJ's and everybody else in town. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Talarico.
Thank you. I'll just echo the same thing so I don't have to go through it. But I do want to thank all the first responders, and I do also want to thank Tom Rue for distributing the emergency kits, the storm cleanup boxes the other day. I actually went down there and spoke with some residents who picked them up and heard about the damage that they experienced, and it was just devastating from the floods. One resident did suggest studying mid-Monmouth County towns to evaluate their flood planning efforts. So I thought that was very interesting, and I told him I would bring that up. Also wanted to let you know that the OEM director also stated that he'll let residents know when they can come in and present any pictures of their damage sustained with possibility of being reimbursed at another time by the state. So I thought that was good information, and I did want to congratulate Bill Brooks on his retirement. He is our tree enforcement guy. And our next Shade Tree and Environmental Commission meeting is scheduled for August. Thank you.
Thank you. Dave Brown, our manager.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm just going to echo what everybody said, but I'm going to also include my gratitude and appreciation for the 4th of July event for the Ocean Township team, which went over well. And, of course, Storm Response 1 and 2. Job well done.
Thank you, sir. And congratulations on your official swearing in there, Dave Brown, who's now Councilman Dave Brown.
Thank you, Mayor.
Is it Councilman Dr. Dave Brown yet? Almost. It's almost Councilman Doctor. So, yeah, July 2nd started off great. I mean, we could not have had a better fireworks show. It was hot as could be. Phenomenal band out there. I want to thank Tom Janarone and his team for getting Suit Mai Tai out there. It was just a great night. We had, I think, between 10 and 15 food trucks. The heat was extensive. Thanks Jack Serpico and Serpico Pyrotechnics for throwing an excellent show. July 3rd, obviously that's when things started to hit the fan here at the evening of July 3rd. Power was knocked out to approximately 1,600 people. July 4th, I spent pretty much the whole day back and forth with Jose, who Deputy Mayor Fisher mentioned, and I cannot say enough for Jose Ortiz from JCP&L. I even told his bosses when I was on a couple of the calls, and he got praise all over the county, wherever he was needed. July 5th was pretty much the same. Then July 6th, We were from 1,600 down to 200 power outages. We should have been cleared out by that evening. But when the next storm came through, we were back up to 600. We had floods, BJ's roof collapsed. Thank you, Jacob, the first police officer, to jump in there and spring into action. We had 27 people trapped. Cars were flooded out on Route 35 and throughout the entire municipality. People wanted to know why our first responders weren't out quick enough. Well, everybody got deployed over to BJ's because it was just a matter of safety at that point. Once they got deployed out, they got to as many spots as they could. Power went out again, more trees down. I had to actually drive the DLA Commission chairman down to the flume to open that up, which he was already proactive 2 days in advance. Our lake was already lowered and we were very prepared. So I want to thank Don Brockle and the DLA Commission for getting us to a point and for me to get him down there to continue the draining of the lake. The following day, the governor came down, which is a very significant move for the Township of Ocean to actually get the governor here over at BJ's. We got a last minute call and she came down. I spoke to the DEP commissioner the following day in regards to water, stormwater management and everything of that nature. I've advised them what we've done up to this point as a municipality. We had a 5-year stream desnagging plan that we got done in about 2 years. This is helping the flow of the water to get out. These are proactive measures. The governor was actually pretty impressed with what we're doing, also planning to try to get the water out through Deal. We've already had multiple discussions with Deal. I was asked by Senator Booker what we need. I said I need money. I said the same thing to Senator Gopal and Assemblywomen Donald and Peter Paul when I was with them. It's about money. It's about stormwater mitigation money. That's the problem right now. We need to get the water out, and we're doing our part right now. The Oakhurst flood happened on the 9th, which is over there in a section off of Norwood Avenue. We found out that there are 2 pipes compromised, one over in Elberon and one on our side. The engineers went out this afternoon. We have water that's not draining out, so they actually have to hire Burke Construction to get out there and pump that water out so that we can get them cleared out and they can fix the pipe. The damage is pretty extensive over there, but we are working on correcting the situation. It's pretty bad on that section over by Lockwood and those areas. And anybody that has a flooded backyard, help is on the way. They're going to start to suck the water out tomorrow, and then they'll repair the pipes. I've already been on the phone with Mayor Pallone about his issue on the Elberon side, so he's going to work on that as well. I want to start off by thanking Tom Rue, our OEM director. He did a fantastic job. And he took my calls late at night and early in the morning because there were a lot of things going on. I want to thank the Ocean Township Police Department, the Oakhurst and Wanamassa Fire Companies, the Ocean Township Public Works Department, the entire DLA Commission. I want to thank the Asbury Park Fire Department for sending in their rigs over to BJ's. And I want to thank Mayor John Moore for having that happen for us at a pinch. Middletown Township Mayor Tony Perry called me up, offered the same thing, sent rigs down for us. It was great. And I know Tony likes his name mentioned, so Tony, here you go, buddy. I want to thank Senator Gopal and Assemblywoman Donlin for getting the governor down here to see what's going on and understand the severity of what we have and what we need for stormwater mitigation. The next steps are mitigation. I have kudos to the governor's office and the DEP for taking my calls and starting to listen to suggestions. And as much as this was a tragedy, I'm going to try to turn it into something for us that we can get for this town to make it better so that we can get the drainage better here. You know, it sucks the way it happened, but now we've got to actually start to work on a long-range plan. We've already been doing it by changing our ordinances. It'll be continued with redevelopment. When my conversation with the DEP commissioner, I was telling him, where he said to me, you're pretty much built out, but he said, you're in a good spot. Everything needs to be redeveloped at some point. This is where we can put the more stringent rules in place for these new developments. Orchard Plaza, 10 acres. Pivotal. As Deputy Mayor Dave Fisher said originally, it's all concrete in the building. The new plan will probably have about 2 acres of open space in it, various areas. Anything is better than what we have currently right now. So I can assure you that these teams that we have in this town, from the Shade Tree Commission to the Environmental Commission with our new chair out here, Ed DeFiglia, that they're keeping an eye on things to make sure that we start to right the ship. None of us in this room were here when all the problems started. But guess what? We're going to be here to start to correct them. And it's already started. So I want to thank the volunteers that have assisted. We have drain issues, and we're going to work on them. So thank you very much. On to the next thing, which is our public hearing for a community development block grant. This is for the construction of ADA compliant bathrooms at the all-inclusive Kepwell Park located at block 159, lot 1, 100 Cold Indian Springs Road. Can someone please open the public hearing?
Mayor? I have
Yes.
to read a statement first.
Oh, you got the statement, okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, members of the Township Council, and the public in attendance. This evening, the Township of Ocean is conducting the required public hearing regarding its application to the Monmouth County Community Development Block Grant Program, also known as CDBG. The Township is seeking $250,000 in CDBG funds to construct an ADA compliant restroom facilities at the Kepwell Park located at 100 Cold Indian Springs Road, block 159, lot 1. Kepwell Park is an all-inclusive park designed to provide recreational opportunities for residents and visitors of all ages and abilities. The purpose of tonight's public hearing is to provide information about the proposed project, receive public input, and ensure that residents have an opportunity to comment before the township submits its grant application to Monmouth County. Following the public hearing, all comments received will be considered as part of the application process. At this time, I turn the meeting back over to the mayor, who will formally open the public hearing.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And again, I will ask for someone to please open. Actually, are we introducing or are we doing?
Just open for public hearing,
Sure.
Mayor, and then we'll take any comments if there are any.
Someone please open public discussion on the community development block grant.
I'll open the discussion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Tellerico?
Yes.
Napolitano? No. She said yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
And Napolitano. Thank you.
Anyone wishing to be heard on the community development block grant, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing here none, do I have a motion to close public discussion on the community development block grant?
I'll make a motion to close the block grant discussion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Tellerico? And Napolitano.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the Township Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion on these items, and if a discussion is desired on any item, that item will be considered separately. The purpose of the public portion is to solely ask questions to understand resolutions that appear on this agenda and is not an occasion for a public hearing on an ordinance. All questions not related to an item on the agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of the meeting. Anyone wishing to be heard on the consent agenda only, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Because you touched it. It was fine. Push the button.
Hello,
There you go.
Alex Hayes, Oakhurst. That is really loud. This is about Resolution 12, number 26-138. So that should be within the consent agenda, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I have long voiced my opposition to this redevelopment. I don't think this town needs another townhome redevelopment. 30 homes you are approving to be literally built the next driveway up from the intermediate school. I think if more people had known about this, you might have received more opposition. From what I gather from what was in the agenda today, it says Garden Homes Senior Living. So I have a couple of questions. Senior living, does that mean this will be a 55 and over community? How many affordable units will be here? Because by law, over 20, you have to have them, right? What will happen to the residents that I thought as of like a week or two ago were still in that Honora development? And are you assuring that they are being placed properly and adequately and not rushed to leave, if they're still there? And I hadn't really seen, there's like, what is it, section 3 in that resolution. It talks about the mayor having the right to change stuff, and I just haven't seen that before in the resolution for redevelopment. So I'm just wondering what kind of authority or like powers you're authorizing like solely the mayor to have. Is that a typo? I don't know. So there are a couple questions in there. That's it.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, right now, there's currently nothing in redevelopment other than designating a redevelopment area. It still has to go in front of the planning board. So that's not even in front of the planning board yet.
This Garden Home Senior Living, you know nothing about?
Again, there's nothing in front of the planning board yet because this is an area in need of redevelopment, which means it goes over to the planning board. As for the resolution or that states the mayor has something with the redevelopment, I don't know. I didn't write it. And I'm not going to get accused of putting it in there again.
That's not what we're doing.
I mean,
That's what I'm sure you guys
why am I the only one
because
that? But yet, why am I the only one that's noticing this?
Yeah.
If you guys all get the agendas, I don't know why nobody else is
Mayor.
like, what is this paragraph?
It's
Mayor, if I may.
It's executing the redevelopment.
Yes, that's it.
It
It's just
happens
simply-
every single.
So that is normal for any new redevelopment.
That's normal on a lot of
Most
documents.
agreements, when the mayor has to sign, but he has to sign on behalf of the council, so the council votes on it. He can't change anything outside of that.
Can't change the substance of.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a typo in there, there's a date alteration, something like that he can change, but he cannot change the substance of the agreement.
Okay, and I don't normally see that in resolutions because we don't normally have redevelopment resolutions. Is that probably why I'm seeing this for the first time? Okay. And you don't know if there's going to be affordable units?
Yes, there will be, by law, 20%.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard on the consent agenda, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Mayor, if I may make one comment, since it's on the consent agenda and didn't have a chance to discuss it upstairs. It is Resolution 11. I've had a couple of conversations with Ricky and with, our CFO and our township manager. Given my day job is technology, I questioned a couple of things on there. Due to the fact that we have been working with Freehold IT for a month-ish, this resolution needs to get passed so we can pay them, but I respectfully ask, and I've had a conversation with the town manager, that there are 2 or 3, and Kevin, that 2 or 3 things do need to be adjusted. I think Freehold will be acceptable to it. It's standard language that would be put into a managed services agreement, which is what this is. It's called shared service, but it's a managed services agreement from an IT perspective. So I'm voting yes, but I do want to say that we do need to make a couple of changes before we.
Do you want to pull the resolution?
I asked for that, but thank you for asking, Mayor. But given the timing and everything, I think it's wise that we just approve it. I think they're good enough. There's a good enough relationship between us and Freehold that they'll accept the minor changes.
Okay, very good. Anyone else? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Talerico?
Yes, to all of the 12.
Okay. Naplatani?
Yes. Vouchers in the amount of $10,166,400.08. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Talerico?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Individual action resolution, approve the appointments to the planning board, listed out in order. John Naplatani Sr., Class 1. Ed DeFiglia, Class 2. Geeta Kaplan, Class 3. Class 4 members, John Fuller, Anthony DeGennaro, Michael Palutis, Luigi Delomo, Jason Chamora, Lisa Littman. In that order, and then alternates, Eric Manell, Anthony Pugielli, Robert Goslin, and Katie Williams. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
And for the record, there's staggered terms. There are terms ending next year, ending in 28, ending in 29, ending in 30. So just so everybody knows, the clerk put them in that order of where they're going so that there's a rotation here. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
I have a statement. No, I'm kidding. What's the question?
Oh, public comment. My apologies. Anyone wishing to be heard on resolution 26-135, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
No touch it.
Don't touch it.
I think there maybe needs to be a sign that says like "Don't touch here." Alex Hayes, Oakhurst. I kind of didn't put things in perfect sentences, so I'm going to try to be as quick as I can. I mentioned this before at like one of the previous meetings that you got a preferred list before you asked the town folk to like put in their names. And I think that basically implied that you all picked your members ahead of time. I was upstairs in the meeting upstairs, so I know everything that you all said. But as much as I disagree that you should have had a public hearing upstairs, because I do believe that these are two separate meetings. This is my only opportunity to talk, so you'll have to bear with me. I think it contributes to the appearance that, backdoor deals are done in this town. That done deals happen before you all even vote on it. You were given a list, and surprising not, you're pushing through that list tonight, even though 20 other people put in their names. A majority of the proposed land use, I don't have no problems with. I'm friends with some of them. But I think it gives an impression that you are not transparent. It gives an impression that there's like some sort of a power grab that was mentioned upstairs. There was also a mention of somebody, like one of the people, like being a pot stirrer. That's why they wanted to join the board. I think we might need that in this town. We might need somebody to think differently and to actually ask more questions than the current planning board members have been asking over the years. So I'm all for a pot stirrer. Let's see. I have a question here. Those are mostly comments. Can you please describe how the mayor is taking a spot? He said upstairs like, oh, I'll take it now, and then if I can't go, I believe that I'm paraphrasing, so I might be wrong. If I can't go, I'll just appoint somebody to go. So can you clarify, does that mean like Mayor Napolitani will like, today I want so-and-so to go, next month if I can't go, somebody else will go? And I don't understand why there isn't another name put forth for that. And I will finally say, to my knowledge, I wonder if this is recording or not. Are we flooding outside? Is my car going to be floating? Okay. No, I totally agree. It's way too loud. There are no Black or Latino members on this board. If you know me, you know representation is a huge deal to me. I think it's unfortunate that you did not pick anybody of any minority residents. I don't think that's representative of this town. Thanks.
Thank you. The only thing I have to say, obviously, is the designee. I'm entitled to send a designee. I haven't picked who that person is yet. But I've told them upstairs that I would pick somebody from that list that was up there of some of the names, because like I said up there were some great names. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Yeah, I just want to add for clarification, one seat on the planning board is reserved by state law for the mayor. It's the mayor, and every town has a seat on the planning board. The mayor, in the mayor's sole discretion, can appoint someone, a designate, for the mayor, and typically it is a longer term appointment. It doesn't have to be, but typically it is, meaning for a year or more. 1 month. Right, technically it's allowed, but it's not advisable, and it's usually a longer term, like I said, which I expect it to be here.
Yep. Thank you, Cap. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Emily Hedaya, Oakhurst. I'm not sure if this is the portion where I can only ask questions or I can also make a statement.
Is this about the planning board?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can make a statement about
Yeah.
the planning board?
Mm-hmm.
May I get my notes?
Sure.
3 minutes.
My name is Emily Hedaya. I've resided at 7 Old Farm Road since 1991. I'm speaking tonight because I believe Ocean Township is experiencing the consequences of planning decisions that deserve careful review. Good planning is about balancing growth with the health, safety, and welfare of the community. When that balance is lost, residents live with the consequences for years, sometimes decades. One example is the township's former zoning standards that allowed up to 90% impervious lot coverage in certain residential areas. Impervious surfaces, roofs, driveways, sidewalks, and pavement and parking lots prevent rainwater from soaking into the ground. The more impervious coverage that is permitted, the more stormwater is forced into neighboring properties, streets, and drainage systems. The township has since reduced that maximum, I think it was in 2024, to 65%. Is that when it was, Mr. Brown? I'm not sure. Was it 24?
I believe so.
That raises an important question. If 65% is the appropriate standard today, why was 90% ever considered acceptable in the first place? It also raises another important question. Why wasn't the process for appointing members to the newly formed Land Use Board more transparent and equitable? If the township has recognized the need to correct planning standards, residents are justified in asking whether simply reappointing many of the same individuals who served on the planning and zoning boards during that period is the best path forward. Experience is valuable, but so are accountability, fresh perspectives, and public confidence in the process. Residents have witnessed flooding become more frequent and more severe. While no single ordinance or development is solely responsible, decades of allowing excessive impervious coverage, continued overdevelopment, the routine granting of variances, and land use decisions that fail to fully consider their cumulative impact have placed enormous strain on our community. Those impacts extend well beyond stormwater runoff to increased traffic congestion, changes in neighborhood character, greater development density, parking shortages, public safety concerns, pressure on aging infrastructure, and a gradual erosion of the zoning standards that were intended to protect our residents. These are the cumulative effects of planning decisions. Planning is not simply about approving projects one at a time. It's about understanding how today's decisions affect tomorrow's neighborhoods. Every variance granted, every zoning standard adopted, and every development approved has consequences beyond the property line. The purpose of land use planning is not merely to determine whether an application meets the minimum legal requirements.
Thank you, Emily. The only thing I'll say on that, you're 100% correct. We've made some fixes to the ordinances. I don't believe it's 65%. I think we went down to 45, but we can double check that. Certain areas, I believe other areas are. A lot of the issues that are happening in this municipality were not caused by anybody, again, in this room, as I just stated. We are dealing with development that is east of us. And there was a time that nobody went to the city of Asbury Park. Nobody went to the city of Long Branch. And now Ocean Township is the cut through to get to those very popular areas on top of our own municipality that's grown. We're 100%, almost 100% built out. We have very few parcels of property. But as I also stated, this is where redevelopment comes in, and this is where those strong members come on and follow the requirements of the state of New Jersey, DEP regulations and such. All these are regulated, and they're going to see to it that we have stringent rules. I have the utmost faith in Ed DeFiglia that he's going to make sure that this is a green project, or as green as it can be. I trust the people that are there. They're not doing anything wrong. They want to do what's right because we all live here. I would never, ever, ever consider anybody that's not going to do the right thing for this town. I will always do the right thing for this town. Anyone else wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Lisa Littman, 1008 Grove Street, West Deal. Two things, please. In response to the diversity of the board, I want to point out and recognize that Geeta's service on the board represents, as a member of our religious Jewish community, she brings a perspective that has been absent from this table for far too long. Her presence closes a gap, and our board and our town are stronger for it. And I also want to recognize Dr. David Brown, also a member. We have color on our board intentionally. When I first started, I serve on the zoning board. Our chairwoman, she was an African American woman. We do our best to be inclusive because we are an inclusive community. We are made up of architects, builders, community business members. I'm a land use lawyer and a regulatory attorney for the state of New Jersey. We have so much information that we bring to the table. We scrutinize everything. We don't rubber stamp a thing. Not a thing. We have had our decisions that we denied brought to court. The judge sent it back to us, and we denied it again because it's not okay for our town. We live here. We are volunteers here in what we do, and we care about our community.
Thank you, Lisa. I can assure you I've been reamed out by some professionals for putting certain people on that board that tend to ask too many questions. I'm good with it. I'm very good with it. Anyone else wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, thank you.
Resolution, this one only planning on the planning board? Okay, we'll have general comments at the end. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard on resolution 26-135? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve resolution 26-135?
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
So here's where I get to comment. I'm not going to read the 13-minute speech that I gave upstairs. You can all watch it on video. I will say that what happened upstairs in a half hour could have happened 3, 4, or 5 months ago, and we could have had the planning board, the land use board in place July 1st and not caused all the drama. That said, I think we had what I expected, a spirited conversation. And I don't know how everybody's going to vote, but I do believe that the board that is being put in place now is a good one, qualified, to Lisa's point, a variety of professionals that are on there. I think they will or should have the best interest of the community in mind, and I am actually going to vote yes on all of them.
Thank you, Rob. Fisher?
Yes, I would like to make one quick comment. I do want to thank, from the bottom of my heart, all the people who volunteered to be on these boards. These are, I served on the planning board for 5 years. I made the same comments upstairs. They are thankless jobs at times. You are not paid. You're away from your family. These are hours that you could be doing other things, but you're here because you want to serve the community, and that is a very high standard, and I thank all of you for that. It is not an easy job. You're making decisions. Sometimes you are hamstrung by the laws, but you have the best interest of the township, and I really believe that we have the right board. And as I've said also, opportunities will come up. So just because you didn't get picked for the board this time does not mean that you cannot be put into a bullpen. We are always looking for talent. If it's not the planning board, it could be the environmental commission, it could be the shade tree commission, it could be anything. So don't feel slighted at any degree. There's lots of opportunities. I encourage all of you to get involved with the township. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Kaplan?
Just want to thank everybody that served on the board and that will no longer be serving with us. Thank you, Victor Ashkenazi. Anyone else I missed that won't be.
Goes without saying.
And I echo, as usual, Deputy Mayor's comments. Please get involved. The more volunteers we have, the better. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. Tellerico?
Thank you. I want to echo that. I want to thank everyone that has served on our boards and that continues to serve. I also want to say I did not agree with the process whatsoever, and I would vote no for that, but I do vote yes for the people that are going to be serving, and I hope that we can all work together to make our town even better than it is now. So yes.
Thank you, Gracie. Naplatani?
Yes. And I too want to thank Victor for your time served on that board. Thank you very much for that time. And thank you to the new board members, because this is a new board with a lot of experience. So I'm counting on you guys to really keep an eye out for this town, because nothing proved that we need to seriously look at redevelopment more than this past storm. I'm really counting on you guys. Make us all proud. Thank you. Ordinance is up for adoption. Ordinance number 2548, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Ocean 1965, authorizing a stop intersection on Cedar Street. Someone please open public comment on ordinance 2548.
I move to open public comment on ordinance 2548.
Second. Roll call.
Acheras?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Tellerico?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance 2548, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close public discussion on ordinance 2548?
I move to close public discussion on ordinance 2548.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achera?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Tellerico?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Action on ordinance 2548.
I move to approve ordinance 2548 and publish according to law.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achera?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Tellerico?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes, that ordinance comes in effect 20 days later. Ordinance 2549, which is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 21 of the Comprehensive Land Development Ordinance of the Township of Ocean, Article 4, Zoning Provisions, subsection 21-22 through 21-32. Someone please open up public discussion on ordinance 2549.
I move to open public discussion on ordinance 2549.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achera?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Tellerico?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance 2549, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. You have the...
Hi, Alex Hayes Oakhurst. I wanted to bring up some of this even for the new land use discussion a minute ago when I was up here before. The way I read how you all are changing this, I think I said some of these comments at the last time I spoke about these revisions to the land development rules. You are now making changes to the development rules, which are also in the new revised master plan, correct?
You want to get out everything?
Okay, well, I'm going to assume that's what you're doing. Thank you to Ms. Hedaya for mentioning that at one point this town considered 90% impervious coverage, which is bonkers. So apparently it was moved to 65% in the ordinance that you're talking about right now for impervious cover. 65% you were granting developers. And now you're moving it back to 45%. As a layperson, I read that as you're realizing that somebody made the percentage way too high and you're trying now to correct it, which means you're trying to scale back the number of trees that are cut down and the amount of grass, and trying to scale up that and trying to scale down driveways, roads, sidewalks, big box, whatever. So I think what Ms. Hedaya mentioned earlier is extremely important, that we need to consider the impervious coverage rules in this town and possibly even go stricter. I disagree with you, Mayor. I do think that, what is it called? The stormwater mitigation is extremely important, and clearing the pipes extremely important. But I think our policies on land development contributed to the floods that we have seen today. You kind of all just said, or this week, you kind of all said that. So just keep doing and lowering the impervious coverage, because it's pretty obvious someone's realizing that there was a mistake a couple of years ago. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Am I allowed to finish my statement now?
Sure.
Excellent.
Is it on this ordinance?
Is it on stormwater management or anything like that? No. What's this ordinance?
This is in the ordinance hearing.
There'll be a public comment period following.
What is this ordinance for?
It's to change the zoning in section 21 dash.
Yeah, it's in the agenda.
So it's general zoning?
Yeah, well, you can finish the statement when we open up public comment.
Excellent.
Cool. Anyone else wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, do I have a motion to close public comment on ordinance 2549?
I move to close public comment on ordinance 2549.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Talarico? Yes. Napleton?
Yes. Action on ordinance 2549.
I move to approve ordinance 2549 and publish according to law.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Talarico? Yes. Napleton?
Yes. Introduction to ordinances 2550. An ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean, 1965, authorizing a stop intersection at the Lincoln Drive and Colonial Avenue. Someone please introduce ordinance 2550.
I move to introduce ordinance 2550.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Talarico? Yes. Napleton?
Yes, that will have its public hearing on the 13th of August. Ordinance 2551, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean, 1965, prohibiting parking along portions of Dwight Drive. Someone please introduce ordinance 2551.
I move to introduce ordinance 2551.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Talarico? Yes. Napleton?
Yes, that too will have its public hearing on the 13th of August. Ordinance 2552, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean, 1965, deleting, prohibiting parking along portions of Auth Avenue. Someone please introduce ordinance 2552.
I move to introduce ordinance 2552.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Talarico? Yes. Napleton?
Yes, that too will have its public hearing on the 13th of August. Ordinance 2553, which is an ordinance amending ordinance 2338, entitled an ordinance fixing salaries and compensation of certain offices, positions, and employees in the Township of Ocean. Someone please introduce ordinance 2553.
I move to introduce ordinance 2553.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Talarico? Yes. Napleton?
Yes, that too will have its public hearing on the 13th of August. Ordinance 2554, which is an ordinance of the Township of Ocean in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, adopting a redevelopment plan for Block 34, Lot 11, commonly known as 1610, Highway 35, Ocean Township, New Jersey, also known as Orchard Plaza. Someone please introduce ordinance 2554.
Move to introduce ordinance 2554.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
I have a question.
It's in intro. Okay. Go ahead.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Talarico? Yes. And Napleton?
Yes, that too will have its public hearing on the 13th of August.
Can I ask a question about it?
There's nothing on this one yet. We can, this is just an introduction.
Okay, but I'm just asking why it's being introduced, because it was supposed to go to the planning board on the June 22nd meeting, and it was canceled.
Right, and it's, I think in the ordinance, it said, once it's, by the time this is adopted,
Yeah, we checked with the redevelopment council. It can go to the planning board after the first reading, before second reading.
So what is it?
it said the plan will be adopted there.
Ordinance adopting a redevelopment plan.
Even before it goes to the
It
planning board
changes
for
after
public
pull it,
meeting?
start
You will not, no, you will not approve it before it goes to the planning board.
No, we won't.
I'm understanding.
You're only introducing it right now, you're not adopting it.
Okay, so it's just introducing.
Correct. It'll have to
Yeah,
go
we're
to
not
second
adopting
reading
it.
for adoption or public hearing.
Okay.
Where was I?
Good.
Okay.
Ordinance 2555, which is bond ordinance providing the acquisition of various capital vehicles and equipment appropriating $2,080,000 thereof and authorizing the issuance of $1,980,100 in bonds and notes to finance a portion of the costs thereof authorized in and by the Township of Ocean in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey. Someone please introduce Ordinance 2555.
I'll introduce ordinance 2555.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Talerico? Naplatani?
Yes. That too will have its public hearing on August 13th. Ordinance 2556, which is a bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements appropriating $4,200,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $4 million in bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof authorized in and by the Township of Ocean in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey. Someone please introduce Ordinance 2556.
I move to introduce ordinance 2556.
Second. Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Talerico? Naplatani?
Yes, that too will have its public hearing on the 13th of August. Before we open up public comment, our attorney will be making a statement.
Yes.
Kevin, off to you.
Yes, I want to read the rules of the public comment period. Speakers and members of the public should at all times maintain proper decorum and shall make their comments in a respectful and civil manner. No person shall at any time engage in any personally offensive or abusive remarks to the mayor, council, city employees or professionals, or any other member of the public. Personal attacks, obscenity, derogatory or slanderous remarks will not be tolerated. No person shall engage in any express or implied speech that involves any other person or group's race, color, religion, gender, disability, sexual orientation, national origin, or ethnicity. Those are the rules that apply to this portion of the meeting.
Anyone wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Starkey. Lisa Littman, 1008 Grove Street. Freedom of speech is not absolute. Speech that crosses from protected expression into incitement to violence or genocide loses all legal protection. In U.S. law, the standard comes from Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969. Speech loses First Amendment protection when it's directed at inciting imminent lawless action and is likely to produce it. Truth threats are also unprotected. Importantly, hate speech by itself is legally protected in the U.S. It only becomes unprotected when it crosses into incitement or threats. Free speech protections end where incitement begins, and under U.S. law, speech directed at and likely to incite imminent violence is not protected, and incitement to genocide is itself a crime.
Thank you, Lisa. Anyone else wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Alex Hayes, Oakhurst. Thank you, Attorney Starkey. Thank you, Ms. Littman. Those were phenomenal rules and sentiments that I concur with wholeheartedly. I thought I was going to be able to talk about Ordinance 5, the Orchard Plaza Ordinance, and I know it's coming up the next time. I still don't get how you're basically saying ahead of time We're approving it now. We're going to wait for the planning board. The planning board's probably going to approve it, and then you're going to approve it again the second reading. That's the way I understood Mr. Starkey saying it.
No, the council did not approve the ordinance tonight. It can only be approved
First-
after a public hearing on second reading and publication, which is going to happen 2 weeks, 4 weeks. It'll happen in the future. It's not happening tonight.
Okay, but you had a first reading now, before the planning board even has it. I don't know why the first reading wasn't until after. You've already directed the planning board to hear from the developer. Why would you do the first reading now and not wait till after the planning board is done? I just think that it signals like a pre-authorization in my brain. I have a couple other comments. Moving the meetings to 5 p.m., in my opinion, means less people can attend. I really hope that the next time you need an extra half hour, you tack it on to the end. You used to have meetings at 7 p.m. Most people work a 9 to 5 job. You can't even get them here at 5:30. How do you expect them to come here at 5 o'clock? I thought Mr. Rue and the OEM did a fantastic job with social media and the town flooding and all that. And the Deal Lake Commission did like a good job also. I do have slight concerns that there was not one cohesive place for townsfolk to get their information. You had to kind of be on all these pages. So I hope you will revisit, like, instead of sharing all these pages, maybe if there's another natural disaster, come to our town website and here's all the information you're gonna need. That's the PR person in me, I guess. Thank you so much in the work session for basically saying you are not going to do a data center in Ocean Township. Many towns in New Jersey have issued resolutions forbidding, prohibiting data centers, and I encourage you, implore you to do the same so that we never see a data center in our town. Going back to the flooding, you guys thanked so many people, the OEM, the fire, the people even got in their boats and like rescued people and are helping people clean out their garages and their carpet. I hope you do some kind of a ceremony to thank everybody for going above and beyond. I have some random other questions. On my way here at 4:48, because I had to leave work early in order to come here, I was passed by no sooner than 5 buses from different companies. They were all different bus companies in town, and in my opinion, like almost all of them were speeding. They weren't the Township of Ocean school buses. They were private contractors. I hope that maybe you guys direct the PD to step up enforcement, because I don't think I've ever seen a non-Ocean Township bus like not speeding. And one other thing, thank you so much. As I mentioned before, the 25 speed limit in some of those towns, on some of those town streets, fantastic. I was in another town in North Jersey last week, and they must have done the same thing, but they had a little like brightly colored neon new under it. So everybody knew these were new speed limits, because I still think people are flying down Sunset because they have no idea that you changed it to 25, despite what you're putting on the Palea Park marquee. And I'd also be curious to know how many speeding tickets you have given, or not you, this. And I think that's it, but I also reserve my right in public comment to come back a second time after everybody has spoken. So thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard, although it's only one time at the microphone, Ms. Hayes? Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, thank you. My name is Ruby Azrak. I live on Maplewood Avenue. I've owned the house for 45 years plus. We never had a water problem up until they decided to pave the streets. When it rained in September a couple of years ago, there was torrents of water going in through I have a 350-foot long a piece of land. My tennis court got destroyed. My basketball got destroyed. Forget about my house. There was a river running through it. Came in April, the town engineer, I think it was the engineer, came to my home to go over and see what the problem is. He told me straight out, there is a problem with the sewers right in front of my home. Now, we're now going again. We had this major rainstorm that happened, I mean, my wife was out there trying to, with a broom, sweeping up what's going to the sewers because the water was so strong and the debris was so strong. The water ended up going, again, back into my home. There was refrigerators, freezers, heating, the hot water heaters, totally destroyed. Forget about the fact that the remediation, they already want $15,000 to $20,000, but that's okay, but it's not acceptable. They told me that they were going to fix the sewer. It's now 4.5 months. Nothing has been done. So I don't know what to do. Again, on my way here, I got a call from the tennis court guy. My tennis court has to be redone again. So there's got to be a cure to all of this. And I really reached, I don't know what else to say, what else to do. But this all started when they repaved Maplewood Avenue.
Dave, can you have Greg look into Maplewood? We'll have our engineer take a look at that. You're going to get the manager's...
Greg, I think, is the one who came.
You're going to get the manager's number. I want you to call him next week. Tomorrow? Dave, you're good?
Yep.
Okay. Give him a call tomorrow. He's going to want your address so that you can get the information to
I
him.
even called today, and I think they ran out there. I called,
Are you off Norwood?
yes.
Okay.
Norwood and Larchwood.
Oh, I know where the problem. There's a big problem over there. It's not that drainage.
I know that there's a problem.
The engineer was out. The engineer was out there today. There was. They found that there were a couple of areas where there may have been a pipe collapse.
But he was there also in April.
He'll get in touch with you and then give him the address. This way, Greg can take a
Okay,
look.
but what do we do for all the damage? It's not even covered from insurance.
Again, he'll speak to the manager tomorrow and he'll get Greg out there. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
I'm not going to finish my statement, but I am going to make a comment. There was a tremendous amount of flooding on my street, and I've been in my house for over 35 years, and I think a lot of it was attributed to the development that was allowed to proceed on Old Farm Road, because a lot of that property, which was mostly trees and grass, is now impervious coverage, and there was a river completely running through my property. I contacted Colleen Mayer immediately the next day. I also contacted, I think his name's Richard Dalton. He said he was out there because he realized that there's a problem. And I'd like to know what's going to be done to remediate it, because all of the water that comes down from that Old Farm Road goes straight to my house. Doesn't go to any other house. So either the city looks into how they're going to put better drainage, or either that development that was put there looks into how to remediate the water problem, or the city covers the damage that happens to my property.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave, that one also.
If you could follow, yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Dalton, thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, council members, mayor. Thank you guys.
Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, my name is John Perudakis, 24 Framingham Road, Wayside. I'm a third-generation resident of Ocean Township. My family's held interest here in this town for over 40 years, and now I'm part of the next generation that's kind of looking to build upon that and keep those interests in town. And obviously the flooding that we had was very concerning, but I wouldn't say it was necessarily unprecedented. I mean, over the last 3 years, we've experienced much higher levels of precipitation. The data supports it. And I'm not gonna sit here and criticize you guys, but all I'm gonna say is if we really want to get to the next level and get to the next step with respect to what's going on in the rest of the county, we really need to invest more into this infrastructure. And I know, Mayor, that you just mentioned that there's some action there, but I'm just reiterating it because what's built is built, right, as far as development. I'm not going to sit here and complain about that either, but we have to take what we have existing, because it is what it is, and just ensure that we're doing the best job, or I guess you guys are doing the best job that you guys can to ensure that we're best prepared for the future. Because I love Ocean Township. I'm still here. The only times I weren't here were the 4 years I attended college in Florida. Still here despite that. And I just want our town to not fall behind with all of the good that's happening in our county. And so thank you. Just a quick question, or I guess comment too. So today I was driving by a couple of our properties that I manage, and I guess New Jersey Natural Gas was doing some gas line configurations, like at Cindy Lane, and it just came as a surprise because we weren't notified by either the town or New Jersey Natural Gas that their work was being performed. And you know, it's cool. Like, I'm fine with work being done. Like, it's an improvement. It's making our area better. But just a better job with like the messaging of that type of work going out to commercial business owners, because I got to prepare my tenants for that kind of thing. And you know, it's just you don't like to have surprises like that. Again, it wasn't that big of a deal, but just like as somebody with interest, like commercial interest, just the courtesy of like knowing when this kind of stuff is happening, just so I can be good on my end. And really, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Make sure you say hi to your mom and dad for me. Dave, utility companies, what's the story there?
Yeah, we really don't have any control over the utility
he's gotta do it.
companies. So they're responsible for notifying.
Yeah.
And in most cases, they notify us if our township property is in the area. But if it's private property, they may not even notify the township.
Right. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. I'm going to give you one warning. If I don't like listen to me. If I get one word that I don't like, there's a couple gentlemen in the back that'll take care of this for me. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, my name is Jeff George. I live in Tinton Falls.
Hold on a second. Go ahead.
I have a right to be here and exercise my First Amendment right, even though I don't reside in Ocean Township. I came a couple weeks ago at the last city council meeting, and I spoke to this council about how the deer population is getting out of control
Guys,
in Ocean
take him
Township.
out, please. Just take him out, because I'm not going to go through this again. I'm not going to get embarrassed.
I'm just trying
again.
I'm just trying to set the record straight.
You can set the record straight all you want. They're taking you out. I'm not even going to get to the record. How's that stand? No, I want them to take you out. I'm not going to put up with it.
I'm not here to talk about deer. I'm here to talk about your comments on Facebook.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Take it outside. Thank you. I did. I messed up. Okay, that's fine. That's why I have him next to me. Thank you. And you know what? Sue away. Thank you. Gentlemen, take him out. Thank you. Okay. At this point, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Have a great night.